Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
and tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started.
Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
You never know, you never know, you never know. Well, good morning, and it's going to be a really beautiful day and a beautiful weekend. Next week looks like really nice as well, but temperature's a little bit cooler. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s next week. But this weekend, 80s. Tomorrow, near 90. And today, another beautiful day. So maybe a little rain Sunday. We'll see. But good morning, Davey. Yankees lose.
Good morning,
Yankees
Bill.
lose.
How are you today?
Mets lose. I hate to say, but I'm starting in baseball. I'm starting to get to the point where I can't wait for the Bills to open. Of course, they play preseason tomorrow night at 7:30 in Florida.
Yeah, and Sean McDermott came out yesterday and said that Josh Allen is not going to play first time in ever his career, that he's not going to play any preseason
What do you think
action.
of that? I thought maybe a series.
I would have let him play about 10 series just to get accommodated with the offense, like James Cook and a running.
Let him drive, score a touchdown.
Yeah, and then take him out. But it's Josh Allen. He's not going to be rusty when it comes to the first game against the big, mighty, bad Baltimore Ravens on
that's
Sunday
gonna be
Night Football.
Game and a half, 8:30 on September 7th, I think it is. Yeah.
Sunday Night Football.
Giants played last night. They won. They go undefeated in preseason.
That don't mean anything, though.
And, of course, the Jets play Sunday, maybe? Or tonight, maybe.
Tonight.
I think it's tonight. Okay, a lot to get to. First of all, I do want to say, without getting into everything, what a busy day yesterday, what a busy week. And I just want to thank everybody who helped my son, who was really just brutally attacked by somebody he doesn't know. And just almost as if it was just a person who wanted to randomly start punching somebody. And when you catch somebody off guard like that, it's very difficult for them to react. And he took several punches to the head. And one thing I do want to say that I think through my entire life, I've kind of cliche-like talked about, I'm going to break your jaw, or you broke his jaw, or, right? We say that all the time. Never really realizing the consequences of breaking a jaw. And the oral surgeon yesterday, we finally found one, and a special thanks to many people, including Hobica's free money question of the day. We worked out a deal. He's going to be calling in today. The surgeon will call in today, and we're to give him an easy question so he can win. I'm kidding. You look at me like I'm serious. Anyway,
sometimes I don't know if you're serious.
You never
or
know.
not.
You never know. But he said this is one of the most painful procedures you will go through. And here's the other part. I would struggle because of my claustrophobia. I kind of nutty with that. And your jaw becomes wired. They wire your jaw shut. You can fit a straw through. Other than that, and listen, I didn't know this either. They give you, listen to this, they give you wire cutters. And if you were to get sick and vomit, you are to emergency style cut the wires, because you would suffocate. You would die if you could not. I mean, think about that. So one more little thing to worry about. Here are wire cutters you use if you were to get possibly sick. So luckily that hasn't happened. And but it just blows my mind how one moment, one incident
could change somebody's life. And God bless to your son.
And it could be so much worse. I have to keep reminding myself of that. It could have been so much worse. Anyway, I'll be driving over the assailant later this afternoon. I'll be scoped out right on Genesee Street. This happened in front of the now I'm kind of thinking increasingly violent Obelston. They better do something over there. But I'll be scoped out right around Planned Parenthood. When I see the guy, I hit the gas. It'll be electric. No gas used, by the way. No gas will be used. But I'll smash into him, plow him into the wall, and then, see what happens, see how he gets a chance to walk away. God, I hope that doesn't happen today because I'll be the first one arrested.
Yeah. And we don't want that today.
I won't be doing that.
We got
We have a big party today. Yeah, big station barbecue party today. But you, as a parent, you feel like imposing. You feel like, what you feel like, and obviously you can't take matters into your own hands. Okay, we have news coming up in a second. We'll speak with Tanya Powers. The Burning Man Festival begins this weekend. Actually, today in Nevada. We'll explain that. Willie Waffle coming up in a little bit. Jeremy Rosenthal, love his segment. Ben the Farmer will be in this morning, hanging with us as a guest host. We mentioned the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is looking for a new provider. It could be a DO. It doesn't have to be a DO. It could be a DR or they'll explain it. A nurse practitioner, but they're looking for a new provider. And we'll speak with them a little bit later on. Scott in Kirkville, I don't know if you know it, but let me see. This is her. Tanya Powers. Good morning. Stand by. We'll be right with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I was saying that Scott in Kirkville is on later on today. I don't know if you know it, but at Saratoga, beautiful Saratoga, the Belmont Stakes held there, and it's going to be there again next year, we're told now. Now it's time for the Travers. So Saratoga's big event happens this weekend. It'll be tomorrow, and we'll have talked with Scott. But I think there are only 5 horses running in this race.
Yeah, 5. I talked to him yesterday about it. 5. He said, Davey, there's only 5.
This weekend, my wife and I are going to the Burning Man Festival in Nevada. Not really, but Tanya's going to tell us what we're going to miss. Good morning, Tanya Powers. Good morning. Oh, we lost her.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know how that happened. I will do news now,
there
though.
She is.
Oh, she's back. And good morning, Tanya J. Powers.
I don't know. I don't know what planet my phone is on today.
Yeah, I know.
It's hanging up on people. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yes, I would like for you to do some live reports for us if you are indeed going to go for the next week to Burning Man, because this would just be worth its weight in gold.
So explain to everyone what the Burning Man Festival is.
This is a week-long cultural event, basically. It's been going on for decades, as a matter of fact. It started with about 40 people on a beach in San Francisco in 1986. And they moved to the Black Rock Desert in Nevada in 1990. It actually became a nonprofit in about 2011. So this is not just a, hey, everybody gather sort of thing.
Yeah.
It is focused on self-expression and art and community, radical self-reliance. People are expected to be self-sufficient. They bring their own food, their water, their shelter, whatever they need for a week in the desert. Can you imagine the planning and packing for this?
Oh, boy, yeah.
Leave no trace is a big deal as well. They leave the desert the way they found it. They meticulously or clean up after themselves. You're not supposed to be even able to tell anybody was there when they're all gone. And we're talking about a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
If you go to their website or look at any of the pictures, like the aerial pictures,
it's a lot of people.
And
it's a whole design, right? So the aerial view almost looks like the aliens have landed or something. in the
It
desert.
looks like it kind of reminds me like of an Aztec sort of maybe thing. I'm not sure, but yeah, the way they have everybody kind of parked, it's a design. So when you look at it from above, you can see the outline of stuff. The burning of the man is a symbolic act that marks the end of the event. They have this big, art installation, I guess in the shape of a man.
Sex. It is kind of like that. It's like Woodstock without the without the bands. It seems.
I can't speak to that because I've never been to Burning Man. But it hardly would be the first get together of people in a large place where that wasn't a possibility.
Yeah, craziness.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
No matter what your art preferences
Right.
are.
That's right. Whatever art is to you. Yeah. So, and this goes on for the week, right? Every once in a while you hear celebrities made it to the Burning Man Festival.
Yeah. I think, was it last year or year before last when they had the torrential rains or whatever that where they all got stuck out there and some of them had to walk out for you're not going out the edge of the opening there and there's a Walmart and a CVS. You're a ways away from a town. And I remember there were people who were walking for hours to get to the nearest town so they could just get out of there. And some of them were celebrities if I remember correctly.
I'm going to say this, and it's going to be very disgusting, however you take it. I'm going to say there's going to be no time to shave the armpits. Let me just tell you, at the Burning Man Festival, and you take that however you want to take it, but it is going to be it's a hippie fest, kind of like it's an artsy event, and it's not for everybody, but for these people, it is, Tanya. It really is.
It is, and I don't know. I haven't gone around and asked, everybody if they're shaving their armpits. But and if the men want to, volunteer and let us know if they are, that's
right.
fine.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, either one. But yeah, it's a week-long thing. They're going to be out there for a while. Gifting is a big deal too. The gift economy. They give gifts to one another without expecting anything in return.
I see. Okay.
So, if your neighbor runs out of toilet paper, which would be a possibility for a
You're
week
there.
in the desert,
you're there to help.
You give them, if you got some, hand it to them. You're not expecting anything, which is, kind of the whole purpose of a gift, I guess.
I do feel like the young generation, that whatever generation letter it is, that it's come around full circle from that stuff in the hippie movement in the 70s, the peace and love and all of that. I almost feel as if this current generation has come right back in, like bell bottoms come back into style. This is back in style for this generation, I feel.
Yeah, you know what? This is not even a Gen Z thing. I know people my age who have gone.
Yes.
I mean, this is not just these young'uns are getting in the desert and they're not taking a bath for a week. That's not that's not the entire. I mean, they might be, but there's a whole bunch of people in a different age range that are going to this thing. It is quite something.
Tanya, you have a wonderful weekend in the Big Apple.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Tanya J. Powers with Fox News. Quick break. We'll do news. I got a bunch to get to. Willie Waffle coming up. What are you streaming? What are you watching? There's a lot to watch. And I think there was we'll get it from Willie, but for the first time, or maybe it's the second time, streaming has outperformed everything. When it comes to your entertainment, whether it be movies or TV, broadcast TV, all of that, streaming has outperformed everything, and we'll talk to Willie about that coming up here. 637 WIBX.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. Motorcycles, cars, people, and flags lined Route 12 from Utica to Boonville as after 84 years, Private Harland Hennessy returned home for a proper burial. Hennessy died after becoming a Japanese POW during World War II in 1942. He died of starvation following a death march while in captivity. The VFW posted in Boonville is named in his honor. He'll be laid to rest Saturday in a private ceremony. A public celebration of life will happen tomorrow at noon at the VFW post. A corrections officer will be spending time in prison for his role in the assault of an inmate. Yesterday, Brandon Montanari was sentenced to spend 3 years and a month behind bars. Montanari and 2 other officers at Mid-State Correctional Facility in Oneida County assaulted James Barton back in April 2023. Montanari is suspended without pay and must surrender by the end of September. Oneida County DA Todd Carville has filed a notice of appeal in the case against Caitlin Conley. He's challenging Judge Bernadette Clark's sealing of the records in the case. He's also previously asked Judge Clark to recuse herself. The DA has 6 months to submit to the appellate court, and Conley's attorney will then have the opportunity to respond. Help is on the way for people and businesses in Oneida, Madison, Onondaga, and Oswego counties impacted by severe storms. Assistance being made available through low-interest loans being offered by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Storms rolled through the region back on June 22nd, caused extensive damage and death. Anyone who is interested in signing up can find additional details online. A woman in New Hartford allegedly woke up Wednesday morning to a registered sex offender, a strange male, in her home. Later in the day, police arrested 63-year-old Richard Seymour, a level 3 sex offender. He's currently being held in Oneida County Jail. New York's 117th District Assemblyman Ken Blankenbush will run for re-election next year. Blankenbush, who entered the Assembly in 2010, represents parts of Oneida, Lewis, Jefferson, and St. Lawrence counties. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Bit of a warm-up coming before temperatures cool down a bit by Sunday, and that's when we'll get our next chance of a little bit of wet weather. But a beautiful morning, nice and cool out there. Sun later, 83. Tonight, clear. Couple of ticks milder, 55. North Country, naturally a little chillier. Sunshine tomorrow, warmer, 87. Chance of showers and thunder showers Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday's high near 80. I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Well, we're starting to see a little blue sky out there, partly cloudy skies, and 53, as Ray says, going to be a beautiful day today. Coming up, we'll speak with Ben Simons. Will be a guest host here this morning. And Willie Waffle, movies, streaming, and entertainment, and all that stuff coming right up at WIBX.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts, or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Now through September 1st, get up to $180 back by mail on a Firestone prepaid MasterCard. Get up to $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair or online at tallmanstire.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
So yesterday, coming from Buffalo, I was in Buffalo while my son was in Syracuse having oral surgery. My wife was with me, and it was just a day and a half yesterday. Anyway, all is good on that trip, and that's good news. So, but on the way back, my daughter was meeting a friend at the great New York State Fair. And last night, the traffic was just brutal. It was bumper to bumper, making your way down New York State Fair Boulevard, trying to get to close enough where we could drop her off. And I'm like, can't we let her off here on exit 39? And my wife said, no, we cannot.
That's a long walk if you did.
It would be, yeah.
You have to walk all the way John Glenn Boulevard down to State Fair.
It would be tough.
Boulevard.
Yeah, it might be tough. So we dropped her off by the big sign. And I got to tell you, what was the crowd all about? There was a big show. And one of the most popular country artists in the country right now is, correct me if I'm wrong, Davey, I know you're a country artist fan.
If I was a country artist, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now.
You wouldn't be here. The artist is Thomas Rhett, who performed at the amphitheater.
After all the bars are closed.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
This is
my favorite song right now.
Yeah, this is the big song. But
we can find a place to park.
Now, what somebody told me in order to stop, first of all, to stop YouTube from dinging you and shutting the show down, which would happen at the end of the show, they say play it a little bit in the background, but not loud enough for the bot to catch it. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I can hear it. That's good.
You hear it?
Yes.
You hear it?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll try that, see if it works. Anyway, this is the song called After All the Bars Are Closed. It is Davey's favorite song currently, right?
Yes.
Currently.
So my niece is going to the fair tonight and her boyfriend before they head back to college in Buffalo, thanks to her uncle getting her tickets.
I'm not a big...
They're going to see Neon Trees tonight.
Okay. I'm not a big fair goer. It's cool, but I'm not a big. We don't go. When the kids were younger, we would go.
Well, I'm going to go next week.
Listen, this thing goes on until Labor Day, a week from Monday,
well,
so there's plenty of time. Yesterday we were covering. Davey was actually covering. Willie, stand by. We'll be right with you. Good morning. Yesterday, Davey was covering the Harland Hennessy procession, which started at Tractor Supply at Riverside Center and made its way up Route 12 to Boonville, where tomorrow at noon there will be a celebration of life for this man who died during a death march as a POW of the Japanese Imperial Army during World War II in 1942. Through current DNA technology that we have today, they were able to identify his remains in a mass grave. They meticulously collected those remains, and he will finally, his family, those who remain, will finally get it'll be a private ceremony tomorrow, like at 9, I think, and then the public ceremony's at noon. But he will finally get the proper burial here in his hometown of Boonville.
Yeah, it was awesome. They came in off the thruway by a state trooper cruiser. Chief Dave Only from Boonville was the second vehicle, and then our good friend Carl Trainer from Funeral Home was there and led into Hearst, and there was like over 300 bikes, Bill.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let me bring in the man with the plan, Willie Waffle. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. And it's I was just reading something that there was another record broken when it comes to streaming, where streaming outperformed everything once again. It's now happening.
Oh yeah, I mean, the nail is in the coffin.
Yeah.
So in July of 2025, Nielsen, which used to do TV ratings, I guess they still do, but they also measure, what are you watching? Are you streaming? Are you going through cable? Are you going through broadcast television? What is it? How are you consuming media?
Yeah.
And they have found that in July of 2025. 47.3% of all TV usage was through streaming. 22% was cable, and 18% was broadcast.
Wow. Boy, those numbers are rough.
Yeah. Well, and
unless you're a streamer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and let's also be honest. What are this is kind of the dichotomy, if you will. Okay, on one side, streaming is dominating. But what are they streaming? The stuff
Yeah.
produced by cable and broadcast. So there's a lot of stuff that's produced solely for streaming. I mean, Netflix is the best example, right? I mean, Netflix really does produce a lot of their own series, a lot of their own movies. So they kind of can stand alone. But some of the other places are still kind of developing that production arm. So I think we've seen the writing on the wall. We've seen it on the wall for a long time. People just are getting rid of cable, and then they're going through streaming. I mean, I'll even say a lot of things I watch, it may be like first run on NBC, but I'll watch it on Peacock the next day. That's what I think a lot of people are doing.
I spent last night trying to because we have a means to watch things, but we've still kept things like YouTube TV. Because my wife likes the mechanism of on demand and the taping of everything, and then trying to get your password into Peacock last night. Holy crap! It takes forever because there's a program she wants to watch there. That's what the world has become. But the days of the 1970s when so and so was going to be on Johnny Carson, The Tonight Show, and every 80%, 70% of America was watching at 11:30. Those days are gone. But what do we have today that still can deliver? So not a lot, like the Super Bowl, the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, sports.
Yeah, sports is about it. Because even when you have breaking news, there are so many places you can go to get that breaking news. The World Series is on one channel, the Super Bowl on one channel, unless of course they do the Nickelodeon thing. But that's probably the last of it, right?
Oh yeah, and I'll say even if you look at sports, I agree with you. I think the Super Bowl is about the only thing all of us all together watch at the same time anymore. The World Series, baseball isn't delivering gangbuster ratings. I mean, really,
right.
it's college football and professional football. When you look at the ratings, when you look at like the top rated programs for the year from broadcast television, it's usually all football games.
Yeah,
it's like Sunday Night Football. It's the Super Bowl. It's things like that. Basketball is popular, but it's like baseball. It's not like dominating the ratings,
right?
So the funny thing is, you mentioned YouTube. YouTube is actually the number one source of streaming. Like of all the things that people are watching, whether it be streaming or broadcast or cable, YouTube is like 13.4% of it. But why? Why? Because, well, like you said, they've got YouTube TV. So there are a lot of people. That's where they're watching CBS. That's where they're watching ABC. So as long as traditional media is still feeding streaming, and still a lot of the traditional media is owning streaming and driving streaming, it's more of a transformation of the business.
Well, it won't be long, I really believe, and maybe like CBS and NBC and ABC and Fox will have their entertainment division will have a feed for local television. Maybe that continues, or maybe they're just like, no, you got to get our app, and local TV is left to do independent programming, getting old reruns of syndicated programs, and doing their own original content and local news. Otherwise, because right now everything is being pushed to the network's app or their streaming service.
Yeah, and just to kind of get historical here, I remember back in the 90s, NBC actually at one time considered, let's just stop being a network. Let's just become a cable station.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's going to go with streaming.
Yeah, I agree.
We're just gonna be a streamer now.
Yeah. Interesting. So, and it's very much like music, where you can get. It's amazing how somebody, a young and up and coming, or an old, even anybody who wants to get their music online, you can put it online. You don't need a record company. It'll be available for millions and billions of people to see. The problem is there are millions and billions of people doing the exact same thing, and you're lost. It's like going to the desert and trying to find a diamond. that you lost 10 years ago somewhere in the sand. Good luck. It's going to be hard to find that gem, that wonderful piece of music.
Yeah, all of a sudden, when you're in that streaming landscape, the kid next door has just as much of a chance of being found as the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You just got to know where to look to find what you're looking for.
All right. Well, listen, let's go into we did see Superman in theaters. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time?
I'm not well, listen, let me say that. I'm not a comic book guy, and I'm not a DC movies person, so I probably missed certain references, but I liked it. I got a little bit uneasy in the beginning when I'm like, are they running this as a comedy? It's like all this comedy. I don't remember all this comedy in here in a Superman movie, but I got into it, and I really I liked it a lot, to be honest.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, and the comedy comes from the fact that the DC universe, up until Superman, has always been criticized as just being too dull and being too heavy, and so what
This
James Gunn was trying to no. The director and the new leader of DC Universe is trying to say, listen, we can lighten up too. And I think the thing I like about Superman is, we have a lot of fun, we have a lot of good energy, but it does its drama when we need the drama. I mean, Superman ultimately is not Jerry Seinfeld. Superman has to save the planet. That's dramatic.
I thought he was really good. I thought the Lex Luthor was really good, and I thought the star of the show, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but was Lois Lane.
Lois Lane and Crypto the dog,
and
my
Crypto
friend.
the dog, you're right. I forgot about the dog.
Super Dog steals the movie, baby.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And it's available if you want to buy it on streaming. I think this is the week it came out on streaming.
Okay, so you can get it, you can buy it. Sooner or later, you'll be able to rent it as well. Okay, Honey Don't is in theaters. What do you think?
Oh God, please don't go see this movie. Listen, it is
Honey,
a
don't see this movie.
That's right. It is a landscape of failed movies this week. Okay, all of Hollywood has said, what do we got that we can dump? What are we contractually required to put into a theater? This is the week to get it over with. And Honey Don't is a great example. Essentially, this is a movie that it wants to be a mystery, right? Margaret Qualley is this private investigator in Bakersfield, California. One of her clients has gone missing, and she decides she's got to try to solve this case. And, of course, she finds out there are murders happening and crimes happening all over Bakersfield. And they get away from the mystery, and they're trying to be outrageous, and they're trying to be shocking. And when they do that, it doesn't become funny. It doesn't become interesting. It doesn't enthrall me. I'm at 0 waffles for Honey Don't. And it's such a waste because Margaret Qualley is a good, young, exciting actress. She's just in the wrong movie.
I have Donna asking, ask Willie's opinion of Landman or Lioness. Have you seen either one of those?
Okay. I love Landman. And matter of fact, for those who are big fans, this is the Billy Bob Thornton series where he's an oil guy who's trying to balance all the politics and all the crime and all the just dirty dealings that oil companies get into. And he's kind of like the point guy. He's not the CEO. That's John Hamm, who reminds him all the time that he's the CEO.
Yeah.
And it's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, we watched it.
First season. Yeah, first season already aired. The second season is coming back. I want to say it's November 16th is the day that the second season is coming back. I think it's fabulous. I think Billy Bob Thornton is great. He's so interesting. He gets all the great lines. He gets all the great dialogue. And he's one of those characters that just shows you life is a big pile of stuff, and I'm just trying to figure out my way out of it.
I want to ask you about the big one everybody's talking about if you're a sports fan, football fan.
Yes.
Is America's Team, The Gambler, and his Cowboys on Netflix.
This is one of the most annoying, self-serving documentaries I have ever seen in my entire life. They might as well say written and directed by Jerry Jones. Okay?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, this is Jerry Jones and the Cowboys from the 1990s all being interviewed about how great they were. Jerry Jones trying to tell you that he was a genius. He's just a billionaire who got lucky a couple of times, folks.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it out loud. Okay, Jimmy Johnson reminding you that he used to be a great coach, and Michael Irvin. Yeah, I mean, it's just so they're all so full of themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no modesty whatsoever. And so, I really honestly think this is Jerry Jones trying to put together the documentary to explain that, hey, I used to be good. Don't look at the 30 years of failure my organization has had. No. We used to win back in the day.
I have heard that from other people who have watched this thing, and it is just a love fest for thyself. That's what you're spot on. Okay, thumbs up, thumbs down. I have 50 seconds. Hostage on Netflix.
Thumbs up. Really cool thriller about a prime minister whose husband has been kidnapped.
Peacemaker on HBO.
I'm thumbs up, but don't let your kids see it. Oh, my God, don't let your kids see it.
Okay. And then I also hear that Cartman, the animated series?
South Park.
Oh, boy,
Yep.
They've got a new, even worse anti-Trump cartoon coming out. Be ready for that. And then thumbs up, thumbs down, M. Snowflake will be what they call it, MS Now. Will it make it or won't it? 5 seconds.
I think it's going to fail.
Okay. Willie, have a great weekend. Enjoy. We'll talk next week. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you next week.
All right.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
The Texas State Senate might finish the job today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It could give final approval to a congressional redistricting the Democrats left the state for 2 weeks trying to block. That could give Republicans 5 more House seats in the 2026 elections, which President Trump is pushing for and California's countering.
Can't win by playing by traditional sets of rules. He plays by no rules. I remind you all the time, it's not the rule of law, it's the rule of Don.
Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill setting up a special election that lets voters consider new maps that could give Democrats 5 more House seats. Now, the president went to the streets of D.C. bringing food and meeting with National Guard troops deployed in his Washington, D.C. crime crackdown.
You do the job on safety, and I'll get this place fixed up physically.
A Trump Truth Social post calls false and highly inaccurate police statistics that D.C. leaders cite showing violent crimes way down the past 2 years. Lyle Menendez goes before a California parole board the day after his brother Eric's attempt was denied, 36 years after they murdered their parents amid allegations their father sexually abused them.
Eric Menendez became emotional as he explained why he killed his mother, saying, quote, "Step by step, my mom had shown she was united with my dad. On that night, I saw them as one person. Had she not been in the room, maybe it would have been different. I wish to God I did not do that."
Fox's Chanley Painter, an illegal immigrant truck driver, has been sent from California to Florida, where Harjinder Singh faces vehicular homicide charges and then deportation. Fox's Doug Luzader has more.
He has been accused of causing a horrific crash by making an illegal U-turn in his truck, causing a minivan to drive right into it, killing 3 people. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis blamed the trucking company and the state of California for issuing the illegal immigrant a commercial truck license.
The governor's also vowing to appeal a court ruling to close the Alligator Alcatraz illegal immigration detention center. A federal judge says no more migrants can be sent there. They have 60 days to wind down operations. America's listening to Fox News.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
President Trump calls it a victory. An appeal he won in what he calls a fake case in New York. The ruling throws out a massive penalty imposed in a civil fraud case last year where the Trump organization was found to have defrauded banks with inaccurate financial statements.
5 justices of New York State's appellate division unanimously deciding to throw out a more than $500 million fine imposed on President Trump by Judge Arthur Engoron last year in a civil fraud case brought by New York's Attorney General Letitia James. 2 justices even calling the more than $515 million penalty, quote, an excessive fine that violates the 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution. One justice, David Friedman, calling A.G. James's case essentially a political witch hunt. Quote, plainly, her ultimate goal was the derailment of President Trump's political career and the destruction of his real estate business.
Fox's Brian Yennis in New York. 2 scares at 2 college campuses at the start of the new school year. False reports of shootings that led to lockdowns. First at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and then at Villanova in Pennsylvania.
The president of Villanova University letting the school's community know the report of an active shooter on campus was a cruel hoax, saying there was no active shooter, no injuries, and no evidence of firearms present on campus.
Initially, we were definitely afraid for our own safety. We ran off campus, and a nice man let us into his home.
Nick Niemchuk, a law school student at the university, tells Philadelphia's Fox 29 News he was studying in the library when the school's alert system told students to barricade doors and move to secure locations.
Hopefully everyone can move on from this situation in a good manner and continue on with their lives.
The report of a shooter prompting the Radnor Township Police Department and other agencies to respond.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. We're going to hear from Fed Chairman Jerome Powell today ahead of a possible interest rate cut in September, which President Trump has been pushing for. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. Motorcycles, cars, people, and flags lined Route 12 from Utica to Boonville as after 84 years, Private Harland Hennessy returned home for a proper burial. Hennessy died after becoming a Japanese POW during World War II in 1942. He died of starvation following a death march while in captivity. The VFW posted in Boonville is named in his honor. He'll be laid to rest Saturday in a private ceremony. A public celebration of life will happen tomorrow at noon at the VFW post. A corrections officer will be spending time in prison for his role in the assault of an inmate. Yesterday, Brandon Montanari was sentenced to spend 3 years and a month behind bars. Montanari and 2 other officers at Mid-State Correctional Facility in Oneida County assaulted James Barton back in April 2023. Montanari is suspended without pay and must surrender by the end of September. Oneida County DA Todd Carville has filed a notice of appeal in the case against Caitlin Conley. He's challenging Judge Bernadette Clark's sealing of the records in the case. He's also previously asked Judge Clark to recuse herself. The DA has 6 months to submit to the appellate court, and Conley's attorney will then have the opportunity to respond. Help is on the way for people and businesses in Oneida, Madison, Onondaga, and Oswego counties impacted by severe storms. Assistance being made available through low-interest loans being offered by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Storms rolled through the region back on June 22nd, caused extensive damage and death. Anyone who is interested in signing up can find additional details online. A woman in New Hartford allegedly woke up Wednesday morning to a registered sex offender, a strange male, in her home. Later in the day, police arrested 63-year-old Richard Seymour, a level 3 sex offender. He's currently being held in Oneida County Jail. New York's 117th District Assemblyman Ken Blankenbush will run for re-election next year. Blankenbush, who entered the Assembly in 2010, represents parts of Oneida, Lewis, Jefferson, and St. Lawrence counties. A beautiful weekend on the way, and now the Hinckley Reservoir swimming area has been closed till further notice. The cause, low water levels. The month of August has certainly seen a significant shortage of rain in our region. Day 3 of the New York State Fair and weekend 1 will see beautiful late summer weather, and folks who want to have fun outdoors should check it out. In addition to rides and delicious food, there's plenty of live music, including concerts today by Neon Trees, the Lady Gaga Tribute, and Lily Rose. Saturday's performances highlighted by Kids Bop, AOAR, and Cameron Marlowe, and Sunday, Busta Rhymes, Lonely Boys, and Group Love will be on stage. Each show is included with the cost of daily admission. And Say It Isn't So, Spirit of Halloween is now open in 2 locations. The former Burlington Coat Factory in Riverside Center and the former Party City Commercial Drive in New Hartford. The stores are open 7 days a week through Halloween. In sports, the Giants closed out the preseason with a 42-10 win over the New England Patriots. Tommy DeVito completed 17 of 20 pass attempts for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. New York finished the preseason a perfect 3-0. They'll visit the Washington Commanders in their season opener September 7th. The Buffalo Bills are going to be in the Sunshine State as they look to finish up their preseason on a high note. The Bills are taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium in Florida. The defending AFC champs have lost both of their preseason contests, coming off a shutout loss to the Chicago Bears. Kickoff for tomorrow night's game is 7:30. The New York Jets wrap up the preseason when it hosts the Philadelphia Eagles tonight. The Mets dropped their rubber match against the Nationals after falling 9-3 in Washington. Francisco Lindor and Starling Marte each went deep with a solar homer. New York has lost back-to-back games and will visit the Braves for a 3-game series that begins tonight in Atlanta. The Yankees were unable to extend their winning streak after falling to the Red Sox 6-3. And the United States Championship game of the Little League World Series is tomorrow afternoon. Fairfield, Connecticut is taking on Las Vegas, Nevada, and Williamsport. The Metro Region champions are a perfect 4-0. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Bit of a warm-up coming before temperatures cool down a bit by Sunday, and that's when we'll get our next chance of a little bit of wet weather. But a beautiful morning, nice and cool out there. Sun later, 83. Tonight, clear. Couple of ticks milder, 55. North Country, naturally a little chillier. Sunshine tomorrow, warmer, 87. Chance of showers and thunder showers Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday's high near 80. I'm meteorologist Ray Stitchick at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Well, we have a beautiful weekend underway here, getting started today. Currently, partly sunny skies, and we are mostly sunny skies, and we're at 54. Ben, you seeing blue skies out there?
Yeah, coming off Star Hill, looking to the south. It was clear.
Right. I will say we were in Buffalo all day yesterday. It was cloudy and cool there all day yesterday, so they didn't get the sunshine that we had. So
now that's kind of unusual because we shadowed by the Great Lakes, and when there's a big temperature difference, the Great Lakes produce a lot of clouds. But yesterday it broke out. It was a beautiful day.
Yeah, here it was very, very nice. So okay, coming up we'll speak with Jeremy Rosenthal and the weekly legal segment that we do. Davey Hobeika's free money question of the day this morning is worth
$350.
$350.
Yes.
Wow, you are blowing it out there today.
I'm taking a gamble.
All right, we'll see where that goes. Coming up at 7:35, $350 on the line.
Are you going to change it up on me?
No, I'm just going to let you go with it.
Okay.
I mean, you're on fire.
No.
This Davey's on fire. Remember that song?
Yeah.
That was a big hit, Ben. Ben Simons is hanging with us here this morning. Listen, if you're in need of in your home and you're starting to see a crumbling of the foundation, you know, Ben, that has to be taken care of.
It does.
You don't want to let that go, and the people at Brank can help. They are experts when it comes to stonework, block work, masonry work, and they can get that fixed for you and ready for the winter. Same deal with no wood. They don't use any wood when they install, and a lot of companies will do this. They use wood when they install to make up the difference when they're putting in basement windows. The problem with using wood is
it rots.
It rots. So you won't get that with Brank. It's top quality basement windows at Brank Construction. Call them today. They'll get the job done right and right on time. 315-894-3481. And Sarah's Flooring Outlet has the top quality carpet, amazing ceramic tile, durable LVP, waterproof laminate and vinyl, the best in floor covering, not seconds. We're talking about the best, the largest inventory, and it's in stock. And you know, in Sarah's Flooring Outlet will meet or beat any advertised price. So when it comes time to shop for your new flooring, which we recently did, and they're holding tile for us, it has to be in Sarah's. Unbelievably unbeatable deals. Unbeatable service. In Sarah's will measure at your home or business at no charge, so the guesswork is gone, and they have the experience in floor covering. Why wouldn't you go to the flooring store if you're looking for flooring? Nobody does it better. And the inventory is so large and in stock, you're able to pick out something that's unique for your home. We mentioned guaranteed to meet or beat anyone's advertised price. You can get 6 months interest-free financing for qualified customers, and you can see why more people buy from the big store. It's in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and in sarahsflooringoutlet.com. Coming up, we'll speak with Jeremy and the Rosenthal Report. It's our weekly legal report, 3 topics, and he goes into them. I also want to throw at him the latest development on the Caitlin Conley case with the Oneida County DA. We'll get to all of that coming up here on Friday morning into the weekend on WIBX.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Now through September 1st, get up to $180 back by mail on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Get up to $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Online at tallmanstire.com.
Are you going to the State Fair? Are you excited? It's coming up in a few weeks. Kevin Fear, president of Mattress Express. I love the State Fair. Go there, get the sausage sandwich, get the pizza free, get the wine slushy, take the kids on the rides. But you know what you don't do at the State Fair? You don't buy a mattress at the State Fair. These out-of-state companies come in, they bring their slick salespeople, and they tell you it's a show-only deal. You'll never find this mattress this cheap again. And then they take your money, they pack up, and they're gone back to their state halfway across the country. Get a written quote, a legitimate written quote, bring it to any Mattress Express, and we'll beat the price at the State Fair. So you'll get the lowest price, but more importantly, we'll be here after the sale. When you have questions, when you have warranty issues, and it'll get delivered quickly, not weeks. Don't buy a mattress at the State Fair. Get your quote and bring it to your closest Mattress Express. All locations at mattressexpressny.com. Hey, I'll see you at the fair.
In life, we're often faced with difficult decisions. When it comes to caring for our loved one, the choice can be overwhelming. But amidst the uncertainties, there's one decision that stands out as an act of profound love and gratitude: choosing hospice care. Hospice care isn't just about medical support. It's about honoring the journey of those who've given their all to their families. It's about providing comfort, dignity, and peace in their final days, surrounded by loved ones. Choosing hospice is a way to give back to someone who has selflessly given their life to others. At Hospice and Palliative Care, we understand the weight of this choice. Our compassionate team is here to guide you through every step of the journey, providing personalized care that respects the individuality and dignity of your loved one. When it's time to say goodbye, choose hospice care. Choose love. Choose Hospice and Palliative Care, serving Oneida, Herkimer, and Eastern Madison counties. Visit our website, hospicecareinc.org, or call 315-735-6484.
When you need us most.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
Hey Central New York, this is Will Kane of The Will Kane Show, and you can now hear my show every weekday at WIBX. I do things a little differently when I'm behind the microphone because I turn it over to the listeners to learn and really dig into the issues that impact everyday Americans. The Will Kane Show lets you keep ahead of the headlines and understand what's really going on in the world with in-depth discussions from leading experts and the brightest minds. From politics to sports, nothing is off topic. Listen to The Will Kane Show weekdays at 6, only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Celebrating 100 years. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I do have coming up some questions for Ben. And it's not necessarily farming related. I have a few questions. Number one, we're going to get into in a second. Number two, I want to ask about the demolition derby that occurred in Herkimer County. It was quite a melee, I'm told. I don't know. Maybe what I heard isn't real, but we're going to find out with Ben coming up in just a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. You know, each and every week we try our darndest to do the amazing. Can I stop this, Davey? I needed to stop. Every week we try to do the amazing Rosenthal Report. But today we open just a little differently. Just a little different.
Jeremy. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy.
Rosenthal Report. Yeah.
Jeremy.
Rosenthal Report.
Jeremy.
Rosenthal Report.
Jeremy.
The Rosenthal Report. Rosenthal.
Jeremy.
Rosenthal. Enough of this. We can stop now. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Jeremy Rosenthal, with his biggest intro yet. Good morning.
I hope you didn't spend like more than 6 minutes on that. Not more than 2 minutes on that. That is
technically
pretty awesome.
It's just, the guy who sings Jeremy over and over and over again. So
even still, look, Pearl Jam is the only, those are the only folks ever sung about me.
That is true. Very well done too.
It's a real downer if you ever like
that. Right. You don't want to dig into that one. This one is chipper. This is the confidence in your attorney. This is what this song is all about.
That's right.
Listen, before we get into our three topics, I don't want to go too far. Quickly, in the news today, the district attorney here has now appealed to the appellate court, asking for the evidence in the Caitlin Conley case to be unsealed. It was sealed because the judge said there ain't no case anymore. It's been thrown out. And is also doubling down on asking for the judge to be to step aside. So it'll be interesting to see again the case that keeps giving and giving and giving.
So I don't want to like take this road too far, but a little birdie told me something about this case.
Oh.
Yes. A little birdie. Well, a couple things. That we didn't try to recuse the judge until we lost our motion, right?
That is true.
We were okay with this until we did that. That the judge flatly denies making this statement. And even if the judge did, the case appeared to be over, but also that there's a lot of briefing that was using AI from the DA's office.
Yeah. It was a bad. It was
chagrin.
Yep. Somebody had to step down because of it. Yeah.
That's right. But I just. Yes, this look, man. We just want a season 3 and episode 3 of the special. Is that what the end game is here? Because we're heading that way.
We are headed that way, and I didn't know this. Every week we have a guest host come in. Every day we have a guest host come in, and one of the members of the farming community here in upstate New York is Ben Simons. He's in here today. Ben, say hi to Jeremy.
Good morning, Jeremy.
You're not going to believe this, and I had no idea of this, Jeremy. But Ben was a juror on the first trial.
Mm-hmm.
Bum, bum, bum.
There you go. Ben, do you get a song?
No song for Ben. No song for Ben.
No song at this moment in time. Everybody used to talk about Benny and the Jets.
Yeah, I don't mean to, man. No, look, okay, sorry.
Here's how I look at it. Ben gets a song. Let's see how much he tells us, and we'll see later on. He might get he may get his own song. It might happen. So, all right, 3 topics we throw at you every week. It's the Rosenthal Report. Topic number one, Democratic-led states suing over Trump restrictions on crime victim grants. What do we know here?
Right. Okay. So like that time they seized your Lamborghini because they thought it was drug money. You remember that?
Yep.
And the house that you had.
Everything. They take everything.
They took it all. Right. They took your Ryder truck full of cash. That goes to a crime victim fund. And federally, that money is distributed to states that apply for a grant. It goes to rape kits. It goes for victim counseling. It goes for battered women's shelter. It goes to all of those types of things. But you apply for it. It's a grant. It was a law that was passed in the 1980s. It's a Ronald Reagan piece of legislation. And basically what the Trump administration is doing is they're telling everybody, they're saying, listen, they've been very bullish about their immigration agenda, saying if you don't play ball on immigration, we're not going to approve those grants for you. These states are pushing back and saying, okay, the requirement of the grant is 1, 2, 3, 4. Donald Trump, you're adding number 5. I don't remember Ronald Reagan ever telling us that we had to help the federal government out with immigration to get this funds. So we're going to sue for this money. And obviously, as you would think, because it's a crime victim fund, it's a pretty high stakes hostage game, if you will, right? The administration saying, well, you're the ones that are doing this to the victims. And of course, the states are saying, no, you're the ones that are doing this to the victims. But the victims are the ones that are kind of being carried along for the ride here.
Interesting. Now, these were the subjects we were going to hit earlier in the week, and it's interesting because some of them have had outcomes, like the judge weighing detainees' legal rights at Alligator Alcatraz in Florida. And now we're learning that there's a judge saying it has to be dismantled. What are the chances that another judge comes in and overrules that? What are your thoughts?
Well, look, we can't have enough judges here, can we? We've got a lot of, look, the lawyers can't make money unless we have like 18 levels of appeal. Okay? That's like, so, but don't tell anybody our secret, right? Yes. So Alligator Alcatraz is this, it is built. You remember like the Super Friends when they used to take on the Legion of Doom?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
That was big. In the Legion of Doom, they like lived in a swamp, like in Darth Vader's helmet.
I remember that. Yes.
And it was like the Bizarro guy who was the Superman with the weird face and Lex Luthor. Okay. That's where Alligator Alcatraz is. It's in the swamp, and you got a lot of problems with building jails and swamps. I'm not, but you get rats, you get
snakes,
you get diseases, snakes, you get all sorts of creepy crawlies that you don't want. And because we're America and not Honduras or something like that, people have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And that's the genesis of a lot of this. And now part of it even too is that it was built on Native American land. The Native Americans are upset about it. So yeah, this is going to be a football that goes back and forth for a while. But some of the trend is that you're now seeing some of these detention centers built by states that are being leased to the federal government. I think there's one in Nebraska that's got like a catchy name. It's like the Husker hookup or something like that. So you're going to see more and more of these.
Where it all goes, we will. You can certainly expect people to challenge them. Topic 3: FTC sues the ticket reseller for evading Taylor Swift's Eras Tour ticket limits. What do you think is going to happen here? This is big money.
Right. These people basically, I don't know. I can't think that they did anything other than dare the federal government to take their head off.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got Ticketmaster and Live Nation who are already getting sued for being a monopoly in this industry, right? You have a concert, like you would go, as an American, it's my right to go see Def Leppard, stand in line, pay $38,
right,
get my T-shirt. Okay, that is far gone.
Those days are gone.
Gone.
Yep.
And now, if you're a popular artist, if you're Paul McCartney, if you are Taylor Swift, if you are, what are some of the big, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, Billy Joel, Elton John when he
Billy
performed.
Joel. Sure.
Springsteen.
You are logging online to the Ticketmaster site to find that there are no tickets, and then you have to go to these third parties, and they'll sell you one for $1 million.
Yeah, if you want to go, you got to pay.
You got to pay. So this lawsuit by the FTC targets those small guys, the companies that are I call them small, but one of them is called Epic Tickets. It's run by what they're called Key Investment Group. Basically, they're end-arounding this law that requires them that limits how many tickets you can buy. You're only allowed to buy 6 Taylor Swift tickets. That's it. But these people are buying hundreds because they're setting up fake email accounts. They're setting up fake credit cards accounts. They're setting up these systems where they can mass text the verifications. So the law says there's literally a law that says if the provider has a limit, you are bound by that limit.
Okay.
And these guys just have very aggressively just sort of gone around that.
Found ways around it. By the way, they say the company made more than $1.2 million in reselling 2,280 Taylor Swift concert tickets. Sounds
like more than 6.
Yeah,
that's more than,
it's a little more, and that's a big margin right there. So you're making some dough. All right, interesting stuff as always. We see where it all ends up going. As always, Jeremy, we appreciate your time. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now heard the Rosenthal Report. Jeremy, thank you. As always, we do appreciate it.
Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend.
You do the same.
Jeremy,
there he goes.
Jeremy.
You have a great weekend. Thank you.
All right.
It's Jeremy Rosenthal. There we go. Jeremy.
If you're rush free and you know it, take a ride.
That's the Davey song. We'll do that one later on. All right, I am going to come back here. This is going to be very exciting. We're going to come back after the free money question of the day. We're going to ask Ben Simons the big question. What do you think, based on what you learned in the trial, what do you think about the Caitlin Conley trial? And what do you think should happen at this point? Now that we're looking at the contemplation of maybe a third trial, we'll get to that coming up, all right?
Okay.
All right. This is going to be very exciting. I don't know about you, but he was on the jury. I am on the edge of my seat for this one. Okay, we'll do news, free money question, then Ben coming up at WIBX.
Are your windows old and tired? Hard to put up and down? Builder's grade windows just aren't made to last very long. Patriot Home Solutions is a different kind of window company. No games or gimmicks, no long drawn-out sales presentations, just high-quality, custom-fit windows at reasonable prices made right here in New York. And right now, you can get up to $2,000 off new windows from Patriot and NYSERDA, plus 0% interest for 18 months. Most homeowners qualify for the savings, and income is not one of the requirements. So write this number down, 315-401-0440. That's 401-0440. Patriot Home Solutions will tell you right over the phone if you qualify. Don't miss your chance to save up to $2,000 on new windows. Funds are limited, so call before they run out. Learn more at callpatriothomesolutions.com. That's callpatriothomesolutions.com.
Everybody is keeping an eye on the Fed and how an interest rate cut might affect gold prices. Gold has been hovering at around $3,400 an ounce for the last 2 months and is poised for dramatic growth with the next interest rate cut. When rates go down, returns on bonds follow, and that's why gold continues to be the safe haven asset of choice for smart investors. Don't wait until it's too late to profit from the back and forth from the Fed on interest rates. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. If you have a qualified IRA or 401k, you could receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you open your retirement account with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now or visit AdvantageGold.com and get your free gold IRA guide and find out how much bonus gold you qualify for. Call 800-900-8000 to qualify for your free $10,000 precious metals bonus when you open your qualified gold IRA with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial and tax professionals before making investment decisions. Call 800-900-8000.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. Motorcycles, cars, people, and flags lined Route 12 from Utica to Boonville as after 84 years, Private Harland Hennessy returned home for a proper burial. Hennessy died after becoming a Japanese POW during World War II in 1942. He died of starvation following a death march while in captivity. The VFW posted in Boonville is named in his honor. He'll be laid to rest Saturday in a private ceremony A public celebration of life will happen tomorrow at noon at the VFW Post. A corrections officer will be spending time in prison for his role in the assault of an inmate. Yesterday, Brandon Montanari was sentenced to spend 3 years and a month behind bars. Montanari and 2 other officers at Mid-State Correctional Facility in Oneida County assaulted James Barton back in April 2023. Montanari is suspended without pay and must surrender by the end of September. Oneida County DA Todd Carville has filed a notice of appeal on the case against Caitlin Conley. He's challenging Judge Bernadette Clark's sealing of the records in the case. He's also previously asked Judge Clark to recuse herself. The DA has 6 months to submit to the appellate court, and Conley's attorney will then have the opportunity to respond. Help is on the way for people and businesses in Oneida, Madison, Onondaga, and Oswego counties impacted by severe storms. Assistance being made available through low-interest loans being offered by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Storms rolled through the region back on June 22nd, caused extensive damage and death. Anyone who is interested in signing up can find additional details online. A woman in New Hartford allegedly woke up Wednesday morning to a registered sex offender, a strange male, in her home. Later in the day, police arrested 63-year-old Richard Seymour, a level 3 sex offender. He's currently being held in Oneida County Jail. New York's 117th District Assemblyman Ken Blankenbush will run for re-election next year. Blankenbush, who entered the Assembly in 2010, represents parts of Oneida, Lewis, Jefferson, and St. Lawrence counties. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Bit of a warm-up coming before temperatures cool down a bit by Sunday, and that's when we'll get our next chance of a little bit of wet weather. But a beautiful morning, nice and cool out there. Sun later, 83. Tonight, clear. A couple of ticks milder, 55. North Country, naturally a little chillier. Sunshine tomorrow, warmer, 87. Chance of showers and thunder showers Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday's high near 80. I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Okay, currently 55 and some clouds out there. Right now, it's time for Hobica's free money question of the day. And this morning, Davey has pounded it out there with a whopping $350.
I slept on this all night long, this figure.
And this is what you've come up with.
Yeah, I was hemming and hawing between a little bit. Maybe I should go this way or this way.
And
but I ended up going in the middle.
You went this way. All right, so for $350, what caller number are you looking for right now?
Caller number 9.
Ninth caller right now at 315-736-0186. Your chance to win $350 from Hobica and WIBX.
Do you spend half your day walking or standing while working? If you have foot, knee, or low back pain, the Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Tony.
Pain that I experience the most is foot pain from being on my feet all day. You're having to kind of talk to yourself through the whole shift, like, I got this, I can do this. Before, I felt defeated, and now it's like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. A whole new life, like sunshine coming on.
And here's Dennis.
Working at an amusement park, it's always on your feet. I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't believe that putting these arch supports in made that much of a difference that quickly. Good Feet just took that pain away, and I could do my job and I could take care of my family. I know what my tomorrow is going to be. It's going to be positive and it's going to be pain-free.
You deserve a better life too. Stop into the Good Feet store today. We're located on Commercial Drive across from Hobby Lobby.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Well, good morning. It's Friday morning, heading into the weekend, and Wayne has questions. The answer to that, Wayne, we'll get to coming up. But before we go there, it's Hobeika's free money question of the day. The Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, at 315-724-1600, and on the line is $350. Davey, what are you thinking? And I'm just going in order of the questions. I'm just going in order. I'm not going to do a special question for today. I'm just going in order. And on the line right now is it Nina?
Nina.
Nina. Good morning, Nina. I think we've had this conversation before. I had a neighbor once named Nina. Is what she went by. She pronounced it. But this is Nina. In Utica, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. This is going to be a very big $350 question. As I said, we haven't gone some cup to pull out some crazy $350 question. This is just the next one in line. Here we go. You know the rule. You'll have 7 seconds. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question. And here we go. Nina, this is yours. It's like on Jeopardy, but you don't have to answer in the form of a question. Here it is. If you go to the great New York State Fair to see Pink Fong, you'll almost certainly know that you're going to hear this song. Which one? Ready, go.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark, baby shark.
It would have, you missed the buzzer and you had it. It was in your head, for God's sake.
I know, I couldn't get it out. It wouldn't come out.
You know what? I had a feeling like either, I don't know how old you are or how young you are. You sound very young. But you know,
little younger kids.
There has to be a younger kid there, and that baby shark thing was enormous.
Yes, yeah. I get it.
Yeah, Pink Fong. Yeah. By the way, don't get nervous. Pink Fong is not playing at the New York State Fair. It was just the way the question was. Yeah, please, we've had enough. We're gonna give you. Speaking of the State Fair, we're gonna give you 4 tickets to the New York State Fair. Use them as you will, and we're also going to give you the $25 food and fun gift card, good at local restaurants, including Taylor and the Cook and Babes, Aquavino, The Odd, Nexus. You stand by. Davey's going to hook you up.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Nina. Thank you. Great playing the game. You were so close. Oh, boy. All right. Stand by. Davey has you all ready to go. Do you remember that song?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, you do. I don't even think, I'll see if I can find it. I don't think you needed to even be let's see if it pops up. I'm just going to see if it pops up. It'll probably be a commercial to go with it. I don't think you needed to be a parent or grandparent to have heard this thing over and over and over and over. Let's see if this is a version of it. Let's see if it'll actually play after the commercial plays, because you know there's going to be a commercial on YouTube. Let's see if it plays. Here we go.
Baby Shark Brooklyn.
I hate to say it, but this is it.
Shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark doo 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 doo, baby shark.
Mommy shark doo 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 doo, mommy shark doo 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 doo, mommy shark doo 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 doo, mommy shark.
Because I think this thing goes for like 60 minutes.
Really?
Over and over, and these kids just sit there looking at the TV like, yeah, I'm dancing to Baby Shark. By the way, that video right there is, you know, how many views? That's a Korean group.
Okay.
Ping Fong. You know how many views that has on YouTube? 190 million.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I can say
190 million and one.
And you're the one.
We're the one. Yeah, that is crazy. Crazy. Okay, I have some breaking news here this morning. NBC is reporting Russia's foreign minister says no. Putin-Zelensky summit planned, accusing the Ukrainian leader of rejecting Trump's terms for the deal. There will be no, I hate to say, Davey, who predicted this? That was never going to happen. Russia would never let it happen, never allow Putin to be on the stage with him to almost legitimize Zelensky. Just was never going to happen. And now they're saying no. Okay, Ben Simons is in, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about the drought.
Yeah.
And, today I believe we've learned which is the watershed that's closed for swimming.
Hinkley for
Hinkley.
Reservoir
Hinkley.
at the boat launch and the
Yeah,
lake.
no swimming this weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend too. Okay, Ben, we'll get to that coming up in a second. First, though, you were on the trial. You were a juror in trial number 1.
That is correct.
Are you willing to talk a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, it was quite an experience. First trial I've ever been on as a juror. And it was a crazy trial.
Yeah, yeah.
I followed other trials and things like that. But the bottom line is that
this was the hung jury, right?
That was a hung jury.
Okay.
Yeah, had to be thrown out
What
because
was it?
no one.
What was it like in that juror's room?
A lot of twists and turns. Every day opinions change.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to talk about it when you're in, but bottom line is people do. That's the reality.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of twists and turns. And this is my opinion, only mine, but if we had the option that they had in the second trial, that Caitlin,
manslaughter.
Yep. Meant, bottom line is it meant that Caitlin did have something to do with it. We probably would have come up with the same determination in the first trial as they did in the second.
Do you think she had something to do with it?
There's no question they had something to do with it. But in my mind now, I'm giving you my opinion.
Yes.
She wasn't the only one. There's just no way. This is my opinion. There's other jurors there, so
yeah.
But
I'm assuming there were those who felt she was not guilty.
Yep.
Those who felt she was completely guilty.
Yep. And then there was people in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And I would say I was one of the ones in the middle of the road, just by the evidence and by the experiences of real life.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is that there's just no way. There was just too many twists and turns and everything else in the whole trial. Everybody was kind of hoping that something would slip up during the trial that would go to her accomplice or however. But at the end of the day, see, on the first trial, they were trying to get her for straight up murder. 100%.
Yeah.
Her, the whole thing.
And Wayne is asking why this isn't double jeopardy. Neither one of us are attorneys. I've asked this question before, and I believe it has something to do with the fact that it ended in a hung jury, which allows them to retry it.
Yep.
And now it's been thrown out, which allows them to retry it under another charge. If they come in and they recharge it, for some reason, that's not double jeopardy. I don't quite understand it, Wayne, but I've asked the question. It is not double jeopardy.
Right.
I don't know why.
Yep, and that makes the same with me. I just can't understand why they're
how
going
do you
down
feel
this
now?
road.
So you feel she spent the time in jail?
I do.
Enough.
Time served. And the community and the families on both sides. Yes, we have a person that died. We certainly do, Mrs. Yoder. But at the end of the day, every family member on both sides has been down a rough road on this thing.
Yeah.
She served her time or has served quite a bit of time. It's the resources, the amount of money, the resources to fly specialists from California in here and back and forth, and the amount of money that the legal system, because the county's picking up a lot of this.
I know.
At the end of the day, this is my opinion. Time served, move on. That's just my 2 cents worth, because it's
and you know, let's not forget, you're not an attorney.
No, I'm
you
not.
You are an American juror, and it's the jury that makes the ultimate decision, and you were certainly a part of that.
Yep.
And so you feel that if you had manslaughter, like manslaughter second or something like that, you would have the same thing. The second trial was afforded. You would have. You feel that that's what you guys would have gone with.
Yep,
So you
no
feel
question.
she had some involvement.
Yes.
I
No
wonder
question.
if somebody had said to me, you know, I think she was. She never meant to kill her. She was looking for sympathy. Do you buy into that argument?
Not totally. Not all on Caitlin, because the original intent that we get out of it was exactly what you just said, Bill, to make her sick, get some sympathy through the family and different family members, because there was a lot of turbulence in that family. It wasn't a solidified family. That's my word.
Right.
But at the end of the day, and then when you realize, when the prosecution and the scientists that came in from California explained how colchicine works and how little bit between your fingers could kill people and change your system in your body to make it self-destruct. I don't think anybody knew it. But the original intent for colchicine was to change marijuana. There's no question that the family was doing marijuana, selling it when it was illegal.
Okay.
And to make money, cash cropping it. And they were using colchicine to change like male plants to females or females to males. I'm not a marijuana specialist, but it was to change it to make it more potent, to make it saleable. And I guess that they knew that if you had it on your fingers, you could theoretically get very, very sick from this stuff.
Okay.
That's where the education of it isn't like somebody called up and says, hey, let's use colchicine to kill somebody. That's not what the original intent was.
What about the evidence on the phone? There was a lot of evidence on the phone.
Yep.
But at the same time, it did seem as if others or other may have had access to that phone.
That is correct. And that's where the gray area came in, was the amount of people that had access to the phone. I don't want to give out names and get myself in a corner. But other people had access to the phone. Other people had access to the information of the colchicine. There was just too many quick, curves and twists in this whole case that for one person to just come down with it, in my mind, was too much.
Let me ask you, by the way, Ben Simons, Farmer Ben, I just learned this. I did not know that you were on the first. You were a juror for the first trial, on the first trial. Very interesting.
Davey
knew.
Davey was on it.
I do want to ask you, when it comes, because that was Pelly, right? Was the
first one.
Was the first defense attorney, and then the prosecution. How did you? What was your? Because a lot of times with a juror, they say that the impression that you get from the lawyers can play a role.
Absolutely, it does.
How did you?
I've been on both sides.
You have.
I have.
How did you feel about Pelly? How did you feel about the prosecution?
Well, the prosecution is no question, they're well seasoned.
Yeah.
They are. That's just the way it is. They do this thing every single day of their life, and they cover many cases, whether it's a traffic violation right to murder.
Sure.
So they deal with that sort of thing every day, so they're well seasoned on the prosecution side. And they did a great job, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But on the defense side, he wasn't, I don't want to get in trouble with any of the judges, but he wasn't as seasoned, and there was a few times that us jurors caught on that the judge had to correct him on some of his procedures.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not saying he was a bad lawyer,
but you may feel that alone would place her in an unfair disadvantage.
Yep.
Interesting. Very
but the
interesting.
Judge at
like
times,
almost having some sympathy for her because you felt that maybe she wasn't getting the proper representation.
Correct.
Very interesting.
The judge, I want to say, the judge was very good. He was very, very fair. But there was times that the judge had to kind of correct him on procedures.
Yeah.
And we picked up on that.
I was told, whether it was the first or second trial, I don't know, that there were jurors that intimidated other jurors. Did you see any of that?
There's always some discussion. Everybody's passionate.
Yeah,
And-
how
and-
could you think that? For God's sakes,
Right.
the evidence is right there. What is wrong with you?
That's
Something like
exactly
that.
what we'd hear. But you
Yeah.
got to remember, Bill, this trial took place for 3 weeks.
I know.
Monday through Friday, we had to leave our families behind. The only time I saw my family was late at night, late in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then first thing in the morning, it was like going to a job. You got up,
You got
I
up
did
and you
my
went.
chores quick and ran down there for 3 weeks.
Were they kind enough to serve you milk? Very important.
I got to tell you, to the jurors that may be listening, we had some very good cooks and pastry makers.
Okay.
And so we would always have pastries, and I would bring in milk, and one time I brought in some hamburger for everybody.
That's cool.
We got to be personal friends, and we
Okay.
are still now, some of us are still in touch with each other. We
I see.
made friends because
Yeah.
we were secluded for 3 weeks.
I know.
Right in,
Yeah.
only go home, come back, go home,
Yeah.
come back. We weren't supposed to talk about it, but reality is life.
You're going to talk about it.
You're behind the doors, and you'd come out of the courtroom, and you go, she's guilty.
They did a...
How did you miss that? And then I would say, wait a minute, that's not real.
Right.
You got to, there's a lot of, to be a good juror, you got to have a lot of life experiences. You can't be just tied on the farm.
I also feel like you got to remember, you have to remember that when the prosecution gets done, you should feel like she's guilty.
Correct.
When the defense gets done, you should feel like she's innocent.
You got it.
And then let me ask you the big question. What was your impression of Caitlin?
She was upset at times, and then I would say her emotions were run out, that she was beyond, you follow me? Once you've cried it out so much.
She was exhausted.
She was exhausted. That's a perfect way to do it. But what I don't understand is myself believe that she did not do this alone. She was not in it alone. No question in my mind. What I don't understand was, if you're on a defense and you're defending your life to go to jail for a very long time, why aren't you spilling the guts on the whole thing? We were waiting for that moment.
And it didn't happen.
And it just didn't come to fruition. She just basically took it all in. So today, when the first trial got done and they started announcing the second trial and they were changing the charges, I instantly sat in my kitchen and I told my wife and my family, she'll be convicted of that.
Yeah.
Because we were sold that that's where that went. But on the first trial, 100% all her. Nope, don't believe it.
It's interesting because Frank Policelli will say that I got her off on the murder charge, and it went to manslaughter. And you would agree that the murder charge was too much.
Yes, the murder charge was overreaching. In my mind.
Now, again, reiterating where you feel we are today, as Deeds is asking in New Hartford, can you ask Jeremy, that's our attorney earlier, how thirsty he thinks Carville is? I guess I don't really understand that question, Deeds. Maybe you can rephrase it. And unfortunately, he's gone now. But the current situation. Now the DA, Todd Carville, is asking for the judge to be recused, that she recuses herself, and asking for the evidence that was there to be unsealed so they can use that evidence. She sealed it, saying the appellate court believes that there is no case anymore. So with all of this, with what's going on right now, what's your opinion as someone who sat through 2 weeks of testimony?
3 weeks.
3 weeks of testimony.
3 weeks. My opinion is that this thing is time served, overdone, move on. And the reason for it is because now with what you're talking about, the judge sealed it and it got exposed out there where it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Here's another twist and turn. You follow me? To the whole case. The whole case is, in my mind, and I'm not a lawyer, absolutely not, but I've been on both sides. I've had a trial that I had to go through one time. And now we have this, where I was on the other side as a juror. Bottom line is that there's so many twists and turns in the whole thing that the case is spoiled.
The case is spoiled.
That is, in my mind, Ben Simons, Farmer Ben, as a juror on number one, following it as much as I have, I believe the case is spoiled.
And
but I'm not a lawyer. I want to disclose that.
And you feel it's time served. She's served time.
Time served. The family has expended all. I mean, I don't know their finances, but this cost a lot of money for everybody. The county, the family. Family's been through hell. Excuse me. Been through it on both sides.
The money that they've had to spend on defending their daughter,
right,
is tremendous. It's also very interesting when you hear Mary Yoder family members who believe she's not guilty.
Correct.
That's also...
And we sat... Thank you for that, Bill, because it's coming back into my mind. There was even family members on Mrs. Yoder's side that did not believe that she did this or could have done it because she was part of the family. Not only was she the secretary receptionist, she was actually part of their family dating the son. And it's just...
I'm not
you're
gonna,
totally right.
I'm not going to ask you... okay, now Deeds is explaining how badly and to what extent does Carville want this conviction? Where will he stop? You mean to tell me that he waited until that everything is said and done to bring up this hearsay? That's very interesting because what we're learning is that hearsay was out, and I don't know, we'll ask him this question, and that after he lost, then he appealed. That's the first time I've heard that. After one attorney lying, how does anyone find any credibility in the accusation? Okay, all interesting stuff, and we'll get to it. I think that's a good question for Carville when we get there. Nonetheless, very interesting. Well, the question I'm not going to ask you is, who do you think did it? Unless you wanted to answer that.
And I appreciate you not asking me that question.
Enough.
Thank you.
We'll leave it alone. So, this is a lot of pressure. Something like this, a lot of pressure. You're putting someone away for what could be many, many years. So, all right, I got a break. We'll get into this. Also, much more. I got a bunch to get to before we get out here this morning.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years.
The National Guard is not playing games. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump in a post on Truth Social saying he's making Washington, D.C. safe again.
It's like a different city. It's the capital. It's going to be the best in the world.
He said that to the troops he met yesterday, bringing in pizza and burgers. He also, in that post, called false and inaccurate police statistics that D.C. leaders have cited, showing violent crime had been dropping before he took action.
President Trump said the crime crackdown has yielded incredible results, and the Metro Police Department confirmed that there has not been a murder in the nation's capital since August 13th.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House.
Law enforcement officials have made 630 total arrests. One missing child was recovered, 86 firearms were seized, and also 251 people who were in the country illegally have been arrested since August 7th.
The federal judge has ruled the Alligator Alcatraz illegal immigration detention center in Florida should close within 60 days, ordering no more migrants be sent there. Governor Ron DeSantis vowing to appeal.
The Center for Biological Diversity, one of the plaintiffs in this case, stating this brutal detention center was burning a hole in the fabric of life that supports our most iconic wetland and a whole host of endangered species, from majestic Florida panthers to wizened wood storks.
Joe Roach with WSVN TV. The FBI is at John Bolton's house right now in Maryland, conducting a raid and a search for potential classified documents. Bolton was a national security advisor in the first Trump administration, but he's been very critical of the president.
Bolton's security clearances were stripped earlier this year by President Trump. Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, took that security clearance away. They had concerns. The administration had concerns about Ambassador Bolton still being able to access some of these documents.
Fox's David Spun. Bolton is not in custody. The Texas Senate may vote today to finalize a congressional redistricting that could give Republicans 5 more House seats in next year's elections. California is countering that with a plan that could give Democrats 5 more seats. America's listening to Fox News.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
The Trump administration, in its continued push to deport illegal immigrants, is going to review more than 55 million people in the U.S. legally, reviewing their visas, looking for any potential violations, and the government stopped giving new worker visas to commercial truck drivers.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio posting on X, the increasing number of foreign drivers operating large tractor-trailer trucks on U.S. roads is endangering American lives and undercutting the livelihoods of American truckers. So the U.S. is no longer doling out visas to foreign truckers. The big concern? They may not speak English. Earlier this week, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy pointed to a Florida crash that left 3 people dead. That wreck involved a truck driver who didn't speak English. But the Commercial Carrier Journal reported earlier this year there's a shortage in the U.S. of about 24,000 truck drivers. Jill Nato, Fox News.
She referenced that crash in Florida. The accused driver here, illegally Harjinder Singh, has been transferred from California to Florida, where he's now in custody facing vehicular homicide charges. It is Lyle Menendez's turn to go before a parole board in California today, trying to be set free.
It follows his younger brother, Eric, being denied parole yesterday. The two were convicted in the grisly shotgun murders of their parents in 1989 when they were just 18 and 21 years old. The brothers claimed they had been sexually abused by their father, but prosecutors argued money was the motive. Well, back in May of this year, a judge reduced their life without parole sentences to 50 to life, making them immediately eligible for parole.
Fox's Chanley Painter will hear from Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell later this morning, maybe giving an indication when the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. Motorcycles, cars, people, and flags lined Route 12 from Utica to Boonville as after 84 years, Private Harland Hennessy returned home for a proper burial. Hennessy died after becoming a Japanese POW during World War II in 1942. He died of starvation following a death march while in captivity. The VFW posted in Boonville is named in his honor. He'll be laid to rest Saturday in a private ceremony. A public celebration of life will happen tomorrow at noon at the VFW post. A corrections officer will be spending time in prison for his role in the assault of an inmate. Yesterday, Brandon Montanari was sentenced to spend 3 years and a month behind bars. Montanari and 2 other officers at Mid-State Correctional Facility in Oneida County assaulted James Barton back in April 2023. Montanari is suspended without pay and must surrender by the end of September. Oneida County DA Todd Carville has filed a notice of appeal on the case against Caitlin Conley. He's challenging Judge Bernadette Clark's sealing of the records in the case. He's also previously asked Judge Clark to recuse herself. The DA has 6 months to submit to the appellate court, and Conley's attorney will then have the opportunity to respond. Help is on the way for people and businesses in Oneida, Madison, Onondaga, and Oswego counties impacted by severe storms. Assistance being made available through low-interest loans being offered by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Storms rolled through the region back on June 22nd, caused extensive damage and death. Anyone who is interested in signing up can find additional details online. A woman in New Hartford allegedly woke up Wednesday morning to a registered sex offender, a strange male, in her home. Later in the day, police arrested 63-year-old Richard Seymour, a level 3 sex offender. He's currently being held in Oneida County Jail. New York's 117th District Assemblyman Ken Blankenbush will run for re-election next year. Blankenbush, who entered the Assembly in 2010, represents parts of Oneida, Lewis, Jefferson, and St. Lawrence counties. A beautiful weekend on the way, and now the Hinckley Reservoir swimming area has been closed till further notice. The cause, low water levels. The month of August has certainly seen a significant shortage of rain in our region. Day 3 of the New York State Fair and weekend 1 will see beautiful late summer weather, and folks who want to have fun outdoors should check it out. In addition to rides and delicious food, there's plenty of live music, including concerts today by Neon Trees, the Lady Gaga Tribute, and Lily Rose. Saturday's performances highlighted by Kids Bop, AOAR, and Cameron Marlowe, and Sunday, Busta Rhymes, Los Lonely Boys, and Group Love will be on stage. Each show is included with the cost of daily admission. And Say It Isn't So, Spirit of Halloween is now open in 2 locations. The former Burlington Coat Factory in Riverside Center and the former Party City Commercial Drive in New Hartford. The stores are open 7 days a week through Halloween. In sports, the Giants closed out the preseason with a 42-10 win over the New England Patriots. Tommy DeVito completed 17 of 20 pass attempts for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. New York finished the preseason a perfect 3-0. They'll visit the Washington Commanders in their season opener September 7th. The Buffalo Bills are going to be in the Sunshine State as they look to finish up their preseason on a high note. The Bills are taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium in Florida. The defending AFC champs have lost both of their preseason contests, coming off a shutout loss to the Chicago Bears. Kickoff for tomorrow night's game is 7:30. The New York Jets wrap up the preseason when it hosts the Philadelphia Eagles tonight. The Mets dropped their rubber match against the Nationals after falling 9-3 in Washington. Francisco Lindor and Starling Marte each went deep with a solar homer. New York has lost back-to-back games and will visit the Braves for a 3-game series that begins tonight in Atlanta. The Yankees were unable to extend their winning streak after falling to the Red Sox 6-3. And the United States Championship game of the Little League World Series is tomorrow afternoon. Fairfield, Connecticut is taking on Las Vegas, Nevada, and Williamsport. The Metro Region champions are a perfect 4-0. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Bit of a warm-up coming before temperatures cool down a bit by Sunday, and that's when we'll get our next chance of a little bit of wet weather. But a beautiful morning, nice and cool out there. Sun later, 83. Tonight, clear. Couple of ticks milder, 55. North Country, naturally a little chillier. Sunshine tomorrow, warmer, 87. Chance of showers and thunder showers Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday's high near 80. I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Well, we have mostly sunny skies, and we're getting up there near 60. Ben, I know we've had a very little rain, but I feel like 24 hours ago when we got that rain that lasted about 24 hours, that was really needed.
Yes, it was.
Does it help us?
It's definitely not a detriment, but it wasn't enough to really bring us ahead to where we need to be. And the further north you went, down here in the valley, you got more rain than we did up our way.
Ah, okay.
And like on my farm, we got exactly 1 inch over a 24-hour period.
Wow.
But you get up into Boonville, they only got like a half an inch. And then above that, there was very little to nothing. It was just a valley-type storm. Did it bring us out and help our crops? The crops enjoyed that little bit of 1 inch of rain, but did it bring us ahead and get us out of this so-called little drought that we're having? Absolutely not. No, lawns are still brown.
There are some plants that will do very well despite the lack of rain. Yep. But, your crops.
The corn and the hay, no. The alfalfas are doing pretty good because they have a taproot that goes deep.
Okay.
But your grass is a surface grass, just like on your lawn.
Mm-hmm. And brown lawns everywhere.
Brown lawns everywhere. And the crops, we've had a really, I don't know how much time we have to talk on this one, but overall, the year 2025 for all farmers, whether you're a dairy farmer, crop farmer, vegetable farmer, beef farmer, has been a really tough year. We had a rough winter. We've talked about that with the massive snow.
So much snow.
And then the spring came, it was cold, wet, and then once it started to slow down on the wetness there, the growing season got into June, we ended up getting all those Canadian smoke wildfires. That did not help us at all.
Yeah.
The crops grew, but they don't have the energy in them.
No sun
to make that photosynthesis.
And
now
then,
the summer we go
next extreme.
The follow extreme right to hot, and we've had very, very little rain. And I spoke with Bill Cardez yesterday. He's also my weatherman and a friend of mine, personal friend. And he was telling me that on an average year, not every year, but an average year over the period of 5 years, You'll have in central New York, we'll have 5 days a year that reach 90. So far this year in 2025, we've had 11 over 90.
Really, yeah.
And then now there's something that no one is really talking about, and Bill mentioned it to me yesterday, that there's been a couple of days this summer that the humidity in the air in New York, upstate New York, is actually drier than the air in Arizona.
Wow.
So not only are we having a lack of rain, when you have the humidity, which is no humidity, the air is so dry, that's sucking the moisture.
I got to tell you, I know what those...
We've had double whammies here.
I know which days they were. I don't specifically know, but those are the days when it was 90 degrees and you went outside and you're like, this isn't bad at all. I can handle 90, 91.
Yep.
But then the next day,
the humidity
it would be so humid. It'd be 87, and it was unbearable.
When you stepped out,
when they say the humidity is the problem, there's a real truth to that when it comes to how that all feels.
Yep. When you stepped outside the door this summer on a few of them humidity days, it felt like just like this.
Yeah.
It felt like standing in front of a salamander or a turbo heater that's used in the wintertime, letting it just blast, and you can't get away from it.
Yeah, yeah.
So now the crops we're having a tough year, no matter who you are.
I noticed that if you grow, I mean, it's really hard if you grow tomatoes in a bed of some sort, or it's not the roots are not able to get down into the ground. You just got to keep watering them. And I noticed that tomatoes will get green or get black on the bottom, and they say that is irregular watering.
Yep.
Not a blight, but irregular watering that can cause that. So all interesting
and
stuff.
Sweet corn. Everybody loves sweet corn in the summertime, and now you're going to find this year that the sweet corn farmers, the vegetable farmers, are having a tough year with it because the corn didn't mature on time because it was late planting.
Yeah.
Then now that we have sweet corn, you'll notice the little kernels on the corn are smaller because the plant did not have enough water nutrients to fulfill the ear of corn. So that's happening in all the crops right across, whether you're growing sweet corn, cow corn, soybeans, anything, your beans in your garden. Everything is being affected by the size and the plumpness.
Yeah, the lack of water.
And what's happening to the corn silage crop for the dairy farmers out there, or the farmers that feed corn silage, is that once we get into this sort of a stage of the growing and the drought, the actual plant will start sucking the nutrients and the moisture out of the ear of corn to keep the plant alive, almost like cutting your arm off.
Yeah.
Well, the plants will actually take away from the vegetable that it's growing, the seed or whatever, to keep its plant viable. And what's happening now is they're running out of the nutrients. So there's a lot of farmers out there that chop silage corn that are looking now at the moisture content inside that plant, and they're testing it. And a lot of corn is going to get chopped in the next week or so that traditionally would be left to grow.
Wow.
So it's overall
been a rough
year since January 1st.
And, listen, I don't think anybody's confident to say next year will be all so much better. I mean,
well, that's the farmer's way, though.
Yeah.
Farmers are very, very optimistic.
Got to be that way.
Next year will be better.
All right, coming up, we're going to bring in both Dr. Zielinski and Chmielewski from the Falcon Clinic. They're looking for a new provider. Do you have somebody in the family who's a doctor, a nurse practitioner, someone in medicine that might be looking for a change or a job? There's an opportunity here. We'll get to it coming up at WIBX.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Now through September 1st, get up to $180 back by mail on a Firestone prepaid MasterCard. Get up to $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair or online at tallmanstire.com.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Inceras. Log on to their website at incerasflooringoutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Inceras Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, incerasflooringoutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Inceras Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Make this season all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension. Visit Clinton Tractor on Meadow Street in Clinton to see the full line of Ferris mowers.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Everybody is keeping an eye on the Fed and how an interest rate cut might affect gold prices. Gold has been hovering at around $3,400 an ounce for the last 2 months and is poised for dramatic growth with the next interest rate cut. When rates go down, returns on bonds follow, and that's why gold continues to be the safe haven asset of choice for smart investors. Don't wait until it's too late to profit from the back and forth from the Fed on interest rates. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. If you have a qualified IRA or 401k, you could receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you open your retirement account with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now or visit AdvantageGold.com and get your free gold IRA guide and find out how much bonus gold you qualify for. Call 800-900-8000 to qualify for your free $10,000 precious metals bonus when you open your qualified gold IRA with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial and tax professionals before making investment decisions. Call 800-900-8000.
Hi, this is Ray Durso of the Genesis Group. If you're interested in keeping up with events and news in the Mohawk Valley region, I have the show for you. It's called This Week in the Mohawk Valley, and it airs every Sunday on WIBX. Join us as we talk with area business leaders, elected officials, law enforcement, educators, and more. Don't miss This Week in the Mohawk Valley every Sunday at 9 a.m. on WIBX 950 a.m. 92.3 FM.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, portions of today's program brought to you by River Hills Properties. You know, River Hills is all about upstate New York. They, Bill and Robin Monjo, truly believe in our area and are seeing just a real estate explosion here. It's really incredible. And then you add Chobani and the stuff that is happening out at Griffiths. It really opens the door for many people coming to the area, which means housing is needed. River Hills has you covered if you're looking to buy or sell. If you're looking to list your home, River Hills works for you with high service from start to finish. They are there every time your house is shown. They don't rely on the lockbox. It's all about service. They have you covered. With offices in Barneveld, Little Falls, to the north in Copenhagen, in Utica, Newport with Mayor Mark Butler, and coming soon to Rome. And of course, the Gulf Coast of Florida, if you're looking at that snowbird option in Sarasota. It's River Hills Properties, LLC.com. Call them at 315-896-1009. River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. And people of all ages experience different levels of discomfort in knees and hips and back. It could very well stem from your feet in the way that you're walking and maybe bad habits that have developed. And it can affect you. Steve Spurbeck was in as a guest host the other day. He is in the trucking industry and had a lot of pain. And he said his trip to the Good Feet store, they did the no obligation free fitting and the inserts, 3-step system with inserts. He said it changed his life. It's the Good Feet store now in New Hartford on Commercial Drive, or you can call them 315-999-3910. No appointment is needed. In studio right now is Dr. Shemaleski and Dr. Zielinski. Gentlemen, docs, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So one of the things that we've been talking about in advance of you coming in, and I asked Ben, are you a doctor? And you said no.
No, I didn't.
No.
I wanted to meet him.
He did. So you're looking for physicians.
So we are looking right now, as you probably recall from one of our previous discussions, we are quite busy over at the office right now, which is good. We're very grateful for that. But we are definitely looking for a new provider if there's a listener out there, or if the listener is not a provider themselves but has a son, daughter, niece, nephew, friend, whatever, who's a provider. We could really use another provider at the office here. And they would not have to be a DO, doctor of osteopathic medicine, like myself and Dr. Shimaleski. If they are great, we welcome them. But in a heartbeat, we will hire an MD, a physician assistant, a nurse practitioner, so long as they support our mission, vision, and philosophy and how we practice.
Dr. Shemaleski, the benefits of coming to, because you're someone who's spent a lot of time in the ER, the benefits of having a practice like the Falcon Clinic.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, ER, 30 years of that was great, and I look back on it, and I learned a lot of things, and hopefully I helped a lot of people on there. But opening up the Falcon Clinic 21 years ago, I basically wanted to use my perspective, or actually the perspective of osteopathic medicine, which was really almost unheard of here in Central New York.
Yeah.
You know, and that was basically to try to get people, however you can, into their best level of healing. Because we talked about this before. Healing comes from within. It's not from surgery. It's not from a tablet or whatever. In fact, Dr. Zielinski, I think it was yesterday, he said, I've never healed a patient in my life. You know?
Yeah.
And what he meant by that was the healing comes from within.
Right.
So in getting the Falcon Clinic, like I said, 21 years ago, I wanted to introduce this idea of a more natural way of doing things. If it meant medication or surgery or whatever, of course, we do that. You know, we're very supportive of it. But if there's any way you can do things either without or in addition to that, that's the best way. So really, when you have a practice yourself, you don't have the corporate bureaucracy, telling you what you can do, how many patients you can see, what medications you can prescribe or procedures or whatever. Within your training, within the law, within ethics and everything, you have the ability to use anything you can to help people.
Yeah.
Dr. Shimaleski, can you mention very briefly, especially given your ER experience, our emergency slots?
This was Dr. Zielinski's idea. In the first place, people said, Dr. Shimaleski, are you retiring? And I said, no, I'm not retiring. In fact, if I retire, the bottom will fall out.
Yeah.
Because I guess I'm needed,
Very much so.
But Dr. Zielinski said, why do we have it, even though we're seeing a lot of people, rather than filling up the schedule every minute of the time, why don't we have, a bunch in the morning, a bunch in the afternoon, but in between intersperse slots? Because they'll get filled up immediately, and they do.
They do.
Somebody comes in, and they're really sick, or they really had an accident, or they can barely walk because of anything, knee pain or whatever.
You don't have to say, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it struck me. You don't have to say, well, we'll see you in 6 months.
Oh, I've had people
Quite
tell
the contrary.
me they called the doctor because they had a terrible ear infection and they're dizzy and everything else, and they call, and some of the offices will say, well, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Or go to the ER.
Or go to the ER.
Go to the ER,
Yeah. I see that all the time. You would be able to say, we can squeeze you in this afternoon. We've got a slot.
That's what we do.
But boy, that is unheard of because, if nobody fills those slots, you're losing revenue. And that makes it unheard of in other places.
We assure you that we have no difficulty filling those slots.
All right.
So, and people aren't waiting
What a
6 months.
concept.
People are not going to urgent care, the ER.
As a younger physician, we were talking about this in the green room. Number one, I feel like you have, Dr. Zielinski, an old soul. Number one. Number two, all the experience in the military as well.
Thank you.
That you have and you bring to the Falcon Clinic. But this idea is brilliant.
Those are two experiences that I draw from extensively. And I've told Dr. Shimoleski many times, and like he said just now, he has no plans on retiring anytime soon. But I told him that you cannot retire, because obviously he's been around much longer than I have, until you take everything that is in your brain and dump it into my brain. Well, that is an ongoing process, and it's going to take a while, and I love having him around, so he's here to stay.
It is, which I think is great to have the seasoned doctors working with, because when you have that moment where all the seasoned doctors leave, and you just replace them with young, out of college, out of med school doctors, you don't have the dynamic that the two of you have.
Well, there's the book experience, and then there's the learning experience. And really, Sir William Osler, who wrote the textbook of medicine in the 1890s there at McGill University, Montreal, he said, you learn at the bedside. You learn from the patient. If it corroborates what you learned in the book, okay. Otherwise, throw the book out.
Ben, you're not just in here to be a pretty face. I feel like you have something you want to add.
I do. I really want to talk to these fellas about, as you know, I'm a farmer, and I represent a lot of the agriculture in Oneida County, the voice of agriculture here in Oneida County.
Well, thank you for what you do.
I thank you guys. And so I wanted to ask you guys, you're into this osteopathic type. So what do you feel about the diets of people eating processed foods versus going to the farmer's market and getting the real food? And then I'd like to go into dairy for a minute. But what's your opinion of processed foods that they buy at Walmart versus buying the food from the local farmer's market?
I'm going to take that one.
Well, in the first place, the reason for processed foods is for a longer shelf life and also for profit. And then the other thing is that a lot of these different enhancers or flavors are put in there not only to get us to buy the food because it maybe tastes good, whatever, but to eat more and more of it, all right? So that gets away from the real reason why we should be eating, okay? So I know that processed foods, have gotten a bad name. If we didn't have processed foods, it might be a little bit more difficult for people to stock the shelves and stuff like that. And some of the investors and stuff will make less money, okay? But when you get to the individual, you and I and all of us there in our pocketbook and our health, it is better to buy local from the local farmers and people, okay? Farmers markets, my wife and I, we use them all the time. It goes back to the old marketplace thing where people would go and they would see their friends and they would talk about different things. So it's not just about food, it's a socialization. We talked earlier a little bit about some supplements. We do use supplements, but the reason we use them is because not everybody has a good nutritional diet.
Right.
I mean, some people are, just a hamburger, French fries, and Coke. And I'm not against that, okay? But if you do it 3 times a day, 7 days a week, we need to talk, okay?
Yeah.
So for those people, if they're going to hedge their bets and maybe use some supplements because they're not getting enough of the zinc, the B vitamins, the trace elements, okay, then I'm in favor of that. But anytime you can get, fresh produce on there and good quality meats there, organic is really the best way to go. But a lot of us can't afford that.
Yeah.
But that's the best way to go. That's where I know that Dr. Zielinski and I would support that.
I agree.
Organic farming and organic.
And more farmers are doing that now.
Yeah.
They're finding out they're making money, and that's wonderful.
And then it comes to dairy.
Yep, and dairy. So I'm a dairy farmer, somewhat retired until this morning. I'm back in the dairy business this morning. But anyway, whole milk, 1%. And the reason I'm asking that is in whole milk, you're getting all of the vitamins and nutrients, but you're gaining all that fat and carbohydrates versus 1%, they skim it all down. So in your mind, in yogurt, we got a huge yogurt plant coming here to Central New York. Yep. What is your guys' opinion of whole milk, 1% or yogurt?
And if I recall correctly, so in the 1%, they're skimming off the fat, but there's still the vitamins, correct?
Yep, but you know how that works. Is they take out and skim off part of it, you're taking away some of the vitamins too.
So what I would say for that is if you have somebody who's active, who doesn't have known, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, et cetera, they're probably going to do just fine with whole milk because they're offsetting the fat with their activity, and then they're getting the vitamins and the proteins that we all need for the reasons that we just discussed here. If you have somebody who has known, high cholesterol, heart disease, but has a fairly decent diet nonetheless so that they're getting the vitamins and proteins through the meats they're eating, the produce that they're eating, and so on and so forth, that person would probably do okay with 1%. And then another thing that we have to be careful of, with no offense toward what you do as a dairy farmer, is something that is not common. I don't think it's present in 80% of the population, but there are people who are lactose intolerant. Yeah. So what I said applies to the general population minus the people who are lactose intolerant. If we have somebody who notices, every time I drink milk, whether it's whole milk, 1%, whatever, I get a really upset stomach, diarrhea, bloating, gas, that might be somebody who could benefit from going to see an allergist to see if the lactose intolerance is to blame.
Or try that A2 milk.
Potentially.
And I got to tell you,
Burn Dairy's capitalizing on A2 milk.
I never thought that would be good, but it's good. You don't realize the lactose has been taken out of it.
Yeah.
So something interesting. All right, I'm almost out of time. I do want to ask you.
Sure.
I said I wasn't going to do this, but now I'm going to try to save a $25 copay. Okay, so what my son went through, and they say the resetting of the jaw and then the wiring of that is one of the most painful things you will. Because it's your mouth, and you're used to moving it, you can't move it. One of the most painful things you'll go through. So the doctor there said you're really going to need 3 days of either Oxy or one of those types of barbiturates. Your thoughts on that? And because I will tell you, he did not, and it needs to be in liquid form because he can't take a pill.
Sure.
So your thoughts on that? Obviously with caution, I'm assuming, but your thoughts?
I think that what happened, and obviously very sorry to hear about what happened to him, but I think the short course of the opioid for an acute injury like that is appropriate. Now
you can't sleep if he's been unable to sleep.
That is how those drugs are meant to be used.
Yeah.
Short courses for acute injuries. What we don't do at the Falcon Clinic, and most physicians are getting away from with the opioid crisis and whatnot, is trying to write for these prescriptions long term. Here's 120 Norcos for the month for your chronic low back pain. That we really try to stay away from. But short courses for acute injuries, we even do that for our patients at the Falcon Clinic. If they come in and we do an x-ray and we find out they have a broken arm or something like that, we'll give them a couple Oxys or whatever the deal is, but not 120 pills every month for the rest of your life.
Doc, I'm assuming you agree.
First of all, I'm in favor of short courses of narcotics. There is a reason for that. But pain is basically a symptom. It's a communication between you and your body and whatever happened to it. And from personal experience, I find that if you've had something where you have some severe pain, usually that severe pain is for like the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
So some people can get by and say, I am not going to use a narcotic or anything, and
that's
I'm
their
going to
choice.
meditate.
Yep.
And after about 24 hours, the pain is quite a bit less.
Yeah.
The other thing is that because pain is a signal, if you use narcotics, it dulls your immune system and your nervous system. Those things work in concert to find out where should the healing process go in your body, in this case to the jaw and the wiring on there. So, while I'm in favor of the narcotics, I think anytime a person can use less of that, not only will there be less pain quickly, but it has been shown that not using narcotics on there, you have fewer complications and fewer infections and stuff, and they heal quicker and better. And that's scientific. That's not my opinion.
If you have ever taken something like that, first time you take it, it works. Second time you take it, it works, but not quite as good as it did the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
By the third time, it's you almost feel as if, boy, I may need two, and that's where people get into trouble.
Yeah.
They can, yes.
Yeah.
And then finally, the other thing, excuse me, there are some people genetically inclined, they only need to take one narcotic, and it just turns on a switch in their brain, and they can't get off that stuff.
Yeah.
If I could very briefly mention one more quick thing as an ode to Farmer Ben over here, and again, thank you tremendously for what we do. So for the patients who are allergic to lactose, we were talking about earlier, one thing that they can look into is going to see an allergist to get allergy shots to get desensitized to it so that they can drink your delicious whole milk, 1% milk.
Well, they're
so
doing
on.
that with peanuts right now.
And so on, so on and so forth.
Small doses of peanuts are
better.
It's almost like an immunization.
It
right?
is.
So,
It is.
all right, gentlemen, looking for a new physician, thank you so much. Great stuff.
All right.
Thank you,
Anything
sir.
you want to add? If you are interested, obviously reach out to one of you over at the Falcon
I think
Clinic.
if somebody really wants to have a different perspective and a different form of practice, and we personally think a better way of helping people, give a call to the Falcon Clinic.
And a different work environment like we were talking about for any providers that are interested in coming on board and helping us.
I mean, if you work at the Falcon Clinic, be aware you're going to have to be on call all weekend long. You're going to be... Oh, no, that's not.
Farmer schedules.
But we do take the calls on the weekends.
We do if it's
return
needed.
them. Oh,
For an emergency.
Yes.
All right. I love that emergency
I want to
slot.
thank you, Dr. Zielinski, for your service in the military.
My pleasure.
Love the
my honor and my pleasure.
The emergency slot concept, I think, is really great. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. All right, hold tight. We're going to be talking about Saratoga, the Travers this weekend. Tomorrow, big one coming up.
Now through September 1st, get up to $180 back by mail on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Get up to $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Online at tallmanstire.com.
At Matt and I Meet GMC of Boonville, power your fall adventures in a new 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab with a Turbo Max engine at 0% APR for well-qualified buyers. Whether it's hauling firewood, tailgating on game day, or tackling weekend projects, the Sierra 1500 is the truck for you. Visit us today on Route 12 in Boonville or mattandIMeGMC.com. Matt and I Meet GMC. Driving forward together. GMC. We are professional grade. See dealer for details. Selective contract limited. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Taking retail delivery by 9/2/25.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. Motorcycles, cars, people, and flags lined Route 12 from Utica to Boonville as after 84 years, Private Harland Hennessy returned home for a proper burial. Hennessy died after becoming a Japanese POW during World War II in 1942. He died of starvation following a death march while in captivity. The VFW posted in Boonville is named in his honor. He'll be laid to rest Saturday in a private ceremony. A public celebration of life will happen tomorrow at noon at the VFW post. A corrections officer will be spending time in prison for his role in the assault of an inmate. Yesterday, Brandon Montanari was sentenced to spend 3 years and a month behind bars. Montanari and 2 other officers at Mid-State Correctional Facility in Oneida County assaulted James Barton back in April 2023. Montanari is suspended without pay and must surrender by the end of September. Oneida County DA Todd Carville has filed a notice of appeal in the case against Caitlin Conley. He's challenging Judge Bernadette Clark's sealing of the records in the case. He's also previously asked Judge Clark to recuse herself. The DA has 6 months to submit to the appellate court, and Conley's attorney will then have the opportunity to respond. Help is on the way for people and businesses in Oneida, Madison, Onondaga, and Oswego counties impacted by severe storms. Assistance being made available through low-interest loans being offered by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Storms rolled through the region back on June 22nd, caused extensive damage and death. Anyone who is interested in signing up can find additional details online. A woman in New Hartford allegedly woke up Wednesday morning to a registered sex offender, a strange male, in her home. Later in the day, police arrested 63-year-old Richard Seymour, a level 3 sex offender. He's currently being held in Oneida County Jail. New York's 117th District Assemblyman Ken Blankenbush will run for re-election next year. Blankenbush, who entered the Assembly in 2010, represents parts of Oneida, Lewis, Jefferson, and St. Lawrence counties. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Bit of a warm-up coming before temperatures cool down a bit by Sunday, and that's when we'll get our next chance of a little bit of wet weather. But a beautiful morning, nice and cool out there. Sun later, 83. Tonight, clear. Couple of ticks milder, 55. North Country, naturally a little chillier. Sunshine tomorrow, warmer, 87. Chance of showers and thunder showers Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday's high near 80. I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Well, we're at 59 and partly cloudy skies. Beautiful day, beautiful weekend on the way. As Ray says, maybe not so much on Sunday. But still, nice weekend on the way. All right, I want to talk about Saratoga. Scott on the line right now. Scott Hall, good morning. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Scott in Kirkville. And listen, I want to ask you, do you remember the old jingle? Saratoga.
Oh, yep.
Thoroughly thorough good. I think that's what it was. Yeah, it's his weekend.
First I want to wish your son good luck.
Thank you.
But, before we talk about Saratoga, I want to talk about that Colbert situation.
Okay.
No, nobody complains from the Democrats when they had that cancel culture, and everything got canceled, and shows got canceled, and lectures got canceled, and even Errol Smith was worried about the cancel culture. They changed their title of the most popular song to "Woke This Way."
Woke this way.
Woke this way. Woke this way.
Woke this way. Yeah. If only I had a rim shot.
There you go.
There you go.
But good news is they hired me as a ghostwriter on the Joe Biden's memoirs.
Oh, wonderful. That'll fit right in. Yeah,
I've already came up with a title, "Out to Lunch with Joe Biden."
I like it. Oh, wrong one.
Yeah,
I meant this one.
He had two chapters already we're working on. One was the red button controversy, where he almost mistaken it to emergency washer stop at Colonial Laundromat instead of the nuclear button. Yeah.
You do know, Ben, these are homemade, handwritten homemade jokes.
I get it.
Yeah.
And also he doesn't understand how Eric Swallow can get reelected after sleeping with the enemy. He has a Chinese mistress there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Two
Or
thumbs
Adam,
way up.
Okay.
Yeah. Or Adam Schiff, who we're still waiting for the bombshell about the sitting president, $40 million of taxpayer dollars, but he gets reelected senator. But, that's just the way it is.
It's the way it is.
But, Now,
that's the way
Chuck
it is.
Lester, I heard you guys are having guest host on Fridays. Is Chuck Lester in the fold?
We've not brought him in as of yet. Right now, this is Ben, Farmer Ben, who's in today. Yeah.
Oh, hi, Farmer Ben.
Good morning. I love you,
at the
jokes.
Culture Show before. Yeah, Yeah, Chuck Lester. I've even driving the range for that. He have 3 hours of Lesterisms. He can talk about his movie Rebel Without a Primary.
Oh,
yeah.
ouch.
And then Howard Potter can talk about this movie Foiled Again, the sequel.
Okay.
But he's working on a book because I'm actually a foiler, not a spoiler. So he's working on
foiler,
a book that way too.
not a spoiler. Well, you are full of attempted humor here today. It is unbelievable.
Yeah. And then the D.
There's
go
more.
ahead.
I was going to ask you about Saratoga, but why when it can continue? Yeah.
Well, I think maybe the DEI has kind of infiltrated the signs that they make for the road constructions. I saw one of those paddle signs that they use instead of flags now.
Yeah. Yes.
On one side it said slow, and the other side said slower.
Oh.
And then, crickets on that one. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
And then I thought there was like a cow zone because it said mooing ahead. So I thought
mooing ahead. Okay. All right. Well,
that's the agriculture part there, right there.
Wonderful. You've exhausted some of the greatest humor.
I've exhausted,
of all time, right here on the radio program. I'm telling you.
But Saratoga itself, now the big one, if you call it the Midsummer Derby, the Travers only drew 5 horses for $1.5 million race, and that's been the biggest disappointment in Saratoga this year. It's the size of the fields. I mean, these are stakes races, and last week was the biggest 3-year-old filly race. The Alabama only drew 6, and 2 trainers actually trained 2 each of the horses. So 4 of the 6 horses were trained by 2 horses.
What does that do for betting?
Trainers.
I mean, what does that do for betting? It means really.
That's the tough thing.
Yeah.
It's you have to almost be perfect or single. Like last week, Mark Cassie had 2 of the favorites. I choose Nitrogen because I know we can get the mile and a quarter. That's my fillies. But you got to be kind of good.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is I singled him and the trifecta, and this 2-horse, Just Pretty, to win the Kentucky Oaks. I put him second and third, and then threw in 2 other horses back. And for $1, it paid $18 for the try, and and the 4 horses paid $2 for 54 cents. But it's the same way for this race. Sovereignty, who won the Derby, won the Belmont, won the Jim Dandy. He's going to go off 1 to 5, so that's only going to pay $2.40 if you bet the horse to win. So his competition is Magnitude, who's the 1 horse. He got hurt. He won a couple races, but wasn't in the Derby trail because he got hurt. He's the speed of the race, and that's the only way that this horse Sovereignty is going to lose. If a horse gets loose on the lead, but that horse there is going to go fast. Usually when you have the speed, you want to slow down, but Sovereignty will run it down. So if he's even at the top of the stretch, then Sovereignty's leaving. So if Magnitude doesn't have a 4-length lead at the top of the stretch, Sovereignty's going to blow right by him. And the other thing, if you're going to play a trifecta, the 3-horse is trained by Chad Brown, and McAfee, the 5-horse, could be competing for the 3rd hole, but the chances are that's if you got to just play it straight. You like the 1 over the 4, Sovereignty's the 4, or the 4 over the 1.
So you really, if you
a couple horses
to win any real money, you'd have to pick 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in that order.
Yeah, you got to, and you can't risk too much money because it's one of those ones you can play a lot and lose. Now, the ironic part was here's an oddity. It's not in this race, but Bob Baffert's bringing the horse, I think, to the Allen Jerkins. His name is Barnes. He's supposed to have been one of the top horses, maybe going to the Kentucky Derby, never qualified. They paid $3.5 million for this horse, hasn't won, and there's rumors as if he doesn't do well in this one. He's going to be at the state fair actually selling pony rides to ride this $3.5 million horse.
All right. So very interesting. Listen, it's a great tradition. It's enormous. So much going on in Saratoga this year, and tomorrow and they run through Labor Day, right? In terms
Labor Day
of Saratoga,
should be the last day. Monday.
Yeah. All right.
The race is on Fox if you want to look it up. But all the races are televised tomorrow. Fox, I think from 2 to 6 or 2 to 7. I think the Travers goes off around 6 o'clock. And I mean, for me, it's a big day. I'm going to be up at Vernon Downs, and it's a big day for me because all the races, there's like 5 big stakes races, but to make money in the Travers, I'll go 4-1, maybe 3-5. But don't bet. I mean, like I said, it's gonna be hard to make money unless you put a lot of money into it and you just hit it one way.
All right. I hope you make a lot of money and enjoy Vernon Downs. And we appreciate your insight. What a great season it's been.
Just remember, if you can't play a sport, be one. Okay, guys?
Okay. All right. Oh, yes. Oh. There you go. You got the lightning strike and the rim shot. Bingo. All right, Scott. Thank you, man. Have a great weekend. Win a lot of money. Okay.
Well, thanks.
Thanks. Quick break, and we'll wrap it up here with Farmer Ben. Also, there's a mural issue going on in Ilion. We'll explain what that is coming right up.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down. Get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Are you a fan of firearms and their rich history? Then you won't want to miss this. Join Sticks and Stones Firearms on August 30th for their 3rd anniversary gun auction. From rifles and shotguns to handguns, ammunition, and even military antiques, plus knives, swords, scopes, Remington guns, factory racks, and so much more is up for grabs. And the best part, no buyer's premium and no reserve. So mark your calendars. Come for the food, drinks, and experience one of the biggest gun auctions of the year. August 30th at Sticks and Stones Firearms in West Winfield. See you there.
Hey, I want to tell you, if you're looking for a new cool ride and a payment that fits your cool ride, fits your budget, GPO Federal Credit Union's summer auto loan rate drop is heating things up, and it goes on just for a few more days. Now through August 31st, enjoy rates on 2022 to 2026 models as low as 4.74% APR for up to 5 years with a checking and direct deposit. Whether you're road tripping through the Adirondacks or just upgrading your daily drive, save more and stress less with GPO by your side. Apply at gpofcu.com or stop by your local GPO branch. GPO Federal Credit Union, your journey, their commitment. Membership eligibility required. Credit restrictions apply. Loan rates are determined by overall credit history. Subject to change without notice. 0.25% rate increase or rate discount is subject to checking account with direct deposit. You have to have the direct deposit. Existing GPO loans cannot be refinanced. Promotional offer is valid now through August 31st. See the branch for full details. And if it's one of those vehicles you might be thinking about, the Mazda, I will tell you that Ricky Z is ready to see you, and you can come in today or tomorrow. It's Mazda's More to Move You sales event at Steep Pawnee Mazda. Save on a new Mazda lease. Enjoy 2.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s and CX-5s with 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-50s, 70s, and 90s. See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. You know that Mazda finished 2024 up 16.8% in sales year over year. Also, Steve Ponte Mazda, #1 nationally when it comes to customer satisfaction. And as Rick says, come on in. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, Davey, we're going to the top, right? Okay, and in studio right now is Ilion Mural Week begins. It brings art, music, and community to Central Plaza, and it goes on through the 29th. Today, actually, the 25th through the 29th, if I'm correct. Ladies, good morning. I know Elizabeth, co-founder of the Hoffman Wellness Group. Can you introduce, because I don't have both names here. I don't have both of you
This
here.
is Angela DeCarlos.
Hi, Angela.
One of the artists that's going to be working on the mural.
All right. Talk about the mural and what's going to be done in Ilion.
Yes. So this summer, Hoffman Wellness Collective has hosted structured activities around Franco's free lunch program that's No Kid Left Behind. We saw a need in the area for kids to have something to do after they were having lunch. So this was everything from community yoga to the Zoomobile, sponsored by a beautiful grant from the Community Foundation, and really wanted to wrap up the summer and head back into school with a focus on community art and the positive impact that can have on bringing people together, exposing kids to different careers in art, and really beautifying that space in Central Plaza.
And you're the artist.
I'm one of them.
And you're going to work with the students, with the kids?
Yes.
Right.
So it's a collaboration between Liz and the community, the children. So during those hours, we're going to have all these different events going on, but the kids will actually be able to paint with us. So we're making it so parts of our murals are collaborative with the kids. So it's exciting to have the kids feel part of something that's going on in their community that they're in every day, and really see artists as an opportunity too, as a career, like she mentioned. So
events happening all week long this coming week, starting on Monday. We'll talk more about this on Monday, so stand by. I do have a quick news break that I have to get to. I'm so sorry I'm rushing you, but it'll be better Monday, I promise you. Okay, starting Monday, it's in the village of Ilion. Enjoy your weekend. We have news
from the Stanley Theater Studio. WIBX Utica, Rome. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years.
No one is above the law. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. FBI Director Kash Patel posted that on X shortly after agents started raiding a home in Maryland, John Bolton's house. He'd been critical of President Trump's foreign policy after his stint as national security advisor in the first Trump administration.
We believe John Bolton was home. We're told that he is not in custody and he's not under arrest. The FBI not commenting, the Justice Department not commenting, but two senior government sources say that FBI agents are looking specifically for classified documents that may have been classified.
Fox's David Spun. Bolton was recently among the 37 who had security clearances revoked over allegations of politicizing intelligence.
A couple of weeks ago, he said on another network that he believes that the Justice Department is out for retribution and vengeance, and he believes that he will be a target.
President Trump insists he's making Washington, D.C. safe again, touting in a Truth Social post overnight, a week without murders. That's after he went to the D.C. streets giving pizza and burgers to some National Guard troops he deployed in a crime crackdown.
I watched these phony reports. Oh, we were on the way back. They weren't on the way back. It was worse than ever.
Lyle Menendez will go before a California parole board this morning, the day after his brother Eric was denied. After their life sentences were recently revised in the murders of their parents 36 years ago, giving them a chance at parole amid allegations their father had sexually abused them. Eric told the board he regretted killing their mother.
I wish to God I did not do that.
But Fox's Chanley Painter also reports.
In announcing the decision, the parole commissioner told Eric, quote, the manner and the motive for the killings do have some weight in aggravation. The killing of your mother especially showed a lack of empathy and reason. So now Eric will be eligible for parole again in 3 years.
There may be a vote in Texas' state Senate today to finalize a congressional redistricting that could give Republicans 5 more House seats, but California has a plan to counter that with 5 Democrat seats. America's listening to Fox News.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Have a blast at the New York State Fair, but don't buy a mattress at the New York State Fair. Go look, get a legitimate written quote, bring it to any Mattress Express, and we will beat the price. And more importantly, we're going to be here for you after the sale for questions and problems. Don't buy at the fair.
There's no place like home with Amerique Credit Union. For 75 years, Amerique has helped your friends and neighbors step into the homes of their dreams. Let us help you find yours. Apply today at amerique.org/home. Equal housing lender.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
On today's episode of America's Least Wanted, the home invaders most likely to threaten your family are not human. Cockroaches can spread salmonella and trigger asthma attacks. Termites destroy billions of dollars in property each year. And stinging insects send 500,000 people to emergency rooms. Learn how to protect your family. Arm yourself with the facts at pestworld.org. A public service announcement from the National Pest Management Association.
Hey, it's real estate expert Mike Aubrey. I see this all the time.
Sir, you're driving in circles.
Can't find any mortgage refinancing.
Lots of homeowners are current on their payments, but can't get a lower rate or better terms because they're underwater on their mortgages.
Get me out of here!
But if your mortgage is owned by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, there is a way. Go to HARP.gov and see if you qualify.
Thanks, Mike.
HARP.gov, your best route to a better mortgage.
You're listening to The Brian Kilmeade Show, only on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
From the Fox News radio studios in Midtown Manhattan, giving you opinions and facts with a positive outlook. It's Brian Kilmeade.
Wow, what a week we've had already. So glad you're with us. Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery's going to join us, break down what's happening in Venezuela. We got 2 or 3, and maybe up to 5 destroyers off Venezuela's coast. Why? Well, the drug cartels are there. The gangs are there, and Maduro's there, this corrupt leader who refuses to leave even though he loses all these elections, and he's an enemy of America, and China is threatening us to back out. Unbelievable in our hemisphere. Do you believe that? And Jonathan Turley is standing by. Not only is he going to stand by and tell us about what the president actually, about his decision, the decision yesterday to overturn the $500 million he owed in a civil judgment, but he's also about the raid of Ambassador Bolton's house, the former national security advisor to John Bolton, to President Trump's first term, John Bolton there. So we've seen it. They raided his office, and they're raiding his house. It's still ongoing. So let's get to the big three.
Number 3.
The president obviously is recognizing this as going forward, and knowing we could be in a much better place if Biden hadn't held back, one, the weapons themselves initially, and then two, how to use those weapons.
Yep, Joe Biden screwed this up from the get-go. That is General Jack Keane hours ago on Fox and Friends. Setback with Russia means Trump is ready to step up for Ukraine. We'll bring you the latest.
Number 2.
They better look out. I sent 32 letters to mayors, multiple letters to these governors. They say that we're trying to tell them how to do their jobs. Yeah, we're trying to tell them to keep America safe, and they need to keep America safe.
Enough with the sanctuary cities. Border shutdown, illegal immigrant crackdown is proof Donald Trump is delivering. But now it's time, in my view, to accelerate the people coming into the country the right way. And green card holders doing things the right way, accelerate their admission. We need to inform people that there is a way to get into America.
Number 1.
One of the things we're going to be redoing is your parks. I'm very good at grass because I have a lot of golf courses all over the place. I know more about grass than any human being, I think, anywhere in the world. And we're going to be regrassing all of your parks, all brand new sprinkler systems.
And that's who the president's not kidding. He says we're going to crack down on crime. We're going to make this place beautiful. We got our 250th birthday party. This is the nation's capital. Graffiti off the dividers. We'll have these parks with actually grass in them. And Mr. President, by the way, start with the park across the street. It is a mess. Jonathan Turley joins us now. Fox News contributor, J.B. Maurice C. Shapiro, professor of public interest of law at George Washington University Law School and author of The Indispensable Right. Jonathan, first off, your take on what we now know about the raid on John Bolton's house.
Well, we know less than we would want to. What we do know is that there was a raid this morning around 7 a.m., and we also know that there's a long history of disagreement between Bolton and the Trump administration, including the first Trump administration, over some of the content of his book. There was a pre-review process that all of these individuals have to go through. Obviously, there were disagreements during that process. And the suspicion is that this could possibly be tied to those lingering questions. Now, this search obviously is looking for material, likely documents. And so the assumption is that this is a search for classified material that Bolton is not allowed to have in his possession. Now, we'll find out more, I think, fairly soon. They're entitled to a copy of that warrant. They're also entitled to an inventory. That inventory is likely to contain anything in the house that has a digital memory or storage capacity.
So, Jonathan, the other thing is there's been informed to me that, so he lost his security clearance a couple of days ago, right? Was it Tulsi Gabbard that took it away?